White House releases hints for its upcoming UFC match. Is this like a confirmed thing? Is this really gonna happen? That we're hosting UFC matches at the White House? Plans for UFC cage match on White House lawn. Octagon cage on South Lawn. Full fight card. Lincoln Memorial weigh-ins. Jumbo screens on ellipse. Possible Oval Office walkout. This is not real. I don't believe this. No shot. President Trump signs EOs at fastest pace in decades. Do you remember when Republicans used to hate executive orders, and this was a talking point in the other direction? They said executive orders are bad. Good one.
He is a skilled orator, a very dangerous and skilled orator who recognizes the media landscape and the media environment. You just don't get it. Epstein was going to de-radicalize his entire audience and instead ended up handing over half of his own and his own kid. I know. Yeah, that was a spectacular failure, by the way, in terms of like what sex pestiny, molestiny, Epstein was trying to do, right?
Is the kitty fucker okay here? Jesus Christ, bro. Go do some more sex tourism in Europe. Or attend some more fucking pedophile Diddy parties. Are you okay, buddy? Jesus.
Like, he was like, oh, dude, his audience loved talking about how, like, you don't understand, dude. You got to debate this guy. Destiny's just, like, owning him in the marketplace of ideas. And while doing so, he's just, like, destroying.
Half my audience to Nick Fuentes? Pretty sure after I talked to Nick, and he did his whole little Kanye stint, did Nick get disavowed before or after I talked to him? I'm trying to remember if Trump disavowed him before or after. I was the reason why Trump disavowed him, if that was the case.
He's destroying him in the marketplace of ideas,
Hasan is like so fucking like scared and ashamed of his lack of intelligence, of how much the finasteride that's failing to save that hairline or failing to keep the color in his beard. He's ashamed at how much like cognitive power he's lost. And so he constantly has to shit on anybody that dares to have a single adversarial or challenging conversation to somebody who doesn't either specialize in commentary YouTube stuff or is above the age of 16. Like, Jesus.
Making his audience more liberal, and instead of that happening, it turns out his son is now a groiper,
behaved,
and a Nick Fuentes acolyte.
Yes,
and
my 14-year-old political mastermind of a true.
Many in his community are also in that same group now. I wonder how that happened.
My community of groiper. Yes, I have a strong far right community. True.
What a fucking spectacular failure. It turns out when you get chicken and waffles with a fucking neo-Nazi and you normalize him as just like any other type of content creator, or even routinely say you have...
By the way, calling it right now, Hasan and Charlie Kirk are going to agree more than disagree in their debate, by the way. That's what's going to happen if they still have it. Guaranteed.
Much more respect for him because he's at least like honest and organizing for his values as opposed to Hasan, who is a much more dangerous prospect for an American future, which are
true. It is true.
Things that his community has routinely said.
Because it's true. Because Fuentes was organizing more. He doesn't now than Hasan ever does. Hasan doesn't organize at all. He doesn't believe in organizing. He loses money not streaming if he's not organizing.
His community actively used to say that this supposedly liberal community actively used to say that I'm a more dangerous figure for American politics than Nick fucking Fuentes. In any case,
maybe once Nick lost all of his clout, maybe
that's what happens when you're so viciously anti-communist, viciously anti-socialist, that like you're only predisposed with like harming and undermining the left flank of the supposed anti-fascist coalition that's supposed to exist in this goddamn country. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, good one.
Yeah, they've said that I am literally worse than Adolf Hitler.
Yes, true. I remember that. Yes, true.
Just an utterly insane fucking statement. Bro, you are falling off. I know. It's over for me. My career is done. It's devastating.
He's mad.
Every weekend, the weekenders don't watch because there's like, no news is not relevant to me. And every weekend, motherfuckers come in here and go, dude, your career is over. And there's not a single person that you can point to that has fallen off to this degree. My fall off is still their greatest fucking viewed streams, unironically. So, Having said that, let's get back to the point I was mentioning. So, like I said, he is a very dangerous orator, but a decent room reader as well, which is kind of insane to say about a dude who has in the past, like, obviously denied the Holocaust, and I assume he still does to this day. And not only that, but also has, talked about like miscegenation being equivalent to like a white person marrying or having sex with an animal. Race mixing, he says, is the equivalent of bestiality. And there is a target-rich environment. I mean,
I don't even know if Fuentes has those views anymore. These are things that he said when he got kicked out of college like 6 or 7 years ago. Hey, you can set him up. God, he's so lazy and stupid. Jesus.
It said a bunch of insane shit, right? But in the last couple of months, especially in the last year or so, he has become this figurehead that is a bold, loud, and proud anti-Israel voice. And in the process, a lot of the MAGA influence, and he's also like criticized Donald Trump a lot. He criticized Donald Trump a lot as well, and he still continues to do so, saying Donald Trump is not aggressive enough with his mass deportation policies. But more so, if you look at this kind of stuff through the clip culture that we exist in, I explained it yesterday as like the reverse, the bizarro Hasan hater industrial complex, where like my haters spend a good deal of time clipping me out of context to make me seem like a bad person.
He loves that out of context. It's always out of context with this guy. Always out of context. Never explains how it's out of context, because it is in context, and he knows it, obviously. This is just a talking point he gives for his audience to repeat.
To make it seem as though I have like really bad opinions, really reactionary opinions or whatever, right? If you want to present me in a negative light to an audience that is reactionary, you point to some of the jokes that I make about, leftist jokes that I make to say, he's being sincere here. He wants to like kill all white people or whatever. If you want to make me look bad to like a pro-queer audience, you clip a weak moment of mine where I'm yelling at someone and you say, he's transphobic. You want to, clip me to a feminist audience, you go, he's gone to a brothel. Like there are, it's a target-rich environment, right?
Oh my God.
The opposite is being done for Nick Fuentes by his fans. If you see him just online, and this has happened with like the Dan Bilzerians of the world as well, like many other content creators have been able to take advantage of the clip culture, the clip culture environment that exists by basically presenting themselves as like much more normal political figures that are like, if you watch him off of just clips that his audience is like pumping out on TikTok and on Twitter and whatnot, you would think he's like a left guy. You would think he's like left wing, because like some of his commentary.
I'm sorry. I must have. Hold on. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention to
Normal political figures that are like, if you watch him off of just clips that his audience is like pumping out on TikTok and on Twitter and whatnot, you would think he's like a left guy. You would think he's like left wing, because like some of his commentary unironically comes across as progressive, and I think it's disingenuous. And I think
because he's playing the game where he's mixing up progressive and communist right now. He's just anti-establishment, bro. Does Hasan really not get this? It's funny because actually, has Hasan not grown at all intellectually in the past 8 years? Or when did I start speaking to him? Because I remember this was part of the conversation we first had when I was giving him tips on debating Charlie Kirk the first time, where I was telling him you can't approach these new conservatives. This was in like 2019. You can't approach these new conservatives like old ones, like the neocons. These guys are anti-corporate. These guys hate big business. These guys hate huge corporations. You can't pretend they're all the same. I remember, I don't know if anybody has the clip of me coaching him the first time we talked, but that was the thing that I told him back then that he didn't seem to understand. Does he still not understand this?
He's doing that deliberately to basically farm a bunch of liberals who are anti-Israel to see him in a different light. And there are numerous clips like this, one of which I actually literally...
I can't believe... Does he just not know anything? Or is it just a huge self-report? I guess if your only issue is Israel-Palestine, if that's literally the only issue you care about, then I guess he can look like he's on the left.
He clocked here, and I sent it to someone just so I could, just so I could show it on stream, actually. This is my most boomer moment. This clip actually is a perfect example of what I'm talking about, because it features the turning point in it as well. Because if you clip him in the first half, you think he's being progressive. And then in the second half, he actually reveals his true nature. Okay, let's take a look.
Names the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Ooh, because as Trump says, we're not just on defense, we're also on offense. Sounds a lot cooler. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm just getting so sick of the slop, man. I'm done with the slop. Is that all this administration can do? It seems like this administration does two things. It renames existing things, like the Gulf of Mexico, like the Persian Gulf, like military bases, like the Pentagon. It renames things.
Hasan, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Do you not understand what I'm...
Fuentes is complaining because he feels like the Trump administration isn't getting anything of substance done. That's not a left-wing or a far-right position. That's anybody who pays attention to politics at all would have this complaint. If you were a super right-winger, you would have the same complaint, right?
You're doing here, I'm showing you a clear-cut example of how he presents himself.
This isn't... Oh, God. Dude, I can't watch this shit. Oh, fuck, I need to play video games. I just need a month long. When does the Final Fantasy text come out? This is so stupid. I don't know who the fuck watches this shit. Is he really this fucking clueless? He's not presenting himself as a liberal or a progressive. He's a far-right guy who fucking hates the Trump admin because it didn't do anything that he initially wanted them to do. And now if you follow politics, it's just an ineffective fucking, like a political, not even a dynasty, I'm sorry. It's like a temporary monarch. And when the king dies, it's over. It doesn't have any princes to take over afterwards. It's so fucking stupid.
From a clip that actually then shows his true nature, okay? Because if you cut this clip at the halfway point, which many people do, right? Many of his fans do, your takeaway will be very different.
If you're retarded, maybe. What?
Okay, your takeaway will be, oh, this guy seems like he's anti-Trump and he's saying the same shit that I think, right? Because you have to remember, for the average person who is not paying too close attention to whatever the fuck is going on in the realm of politics, especially in our increasingly short attention span economy, you only see people through...
Liberals say the first half. Fuentes and Yarvin are basically just upset that Trump isn't fascist enough. True, this guy's correct. I expect there will be a soft coup against Trump in October, and they'll usher in the penalty occupied. Probably not that, but
30-second clip reflections. Okay, I'm explaining to you how propaganda is conducted. This is how historic fascism has operated as well, not with 30-second clips, obviously, but historically, fascist movements have started off masquerading as left populist movements. Left populist movements for who? The designated in-group. Okay? Whether it be, ironically enough, Israel in its inception, which was supposed to be this socialist project, but for the chosen people, or whether it be Germany's National Socialist Party. Okay? The Nazis wanted to do socialism, but for the Volk, the chosen people, the Aryan people. Okay? Except they weren't really invested in socialism at all. They just used the momentum and the popularity, the existing popularity of left populist statements. That's it. It is a way to package a nefarious agenda that is inherently violent and also directly antithetical to any sort of socialist development. Mussolini, yes, Mussolini was literally a Marxist revisionist. Exactly. I'm so annoyed because I want to watch the Mussolini thing that came out. God, I'm all over the place. There's a Mussolini TV show that came out that's really good apparently, but I can't fucking watch it in America unfortunately without a VPN. The Son of the Century that tracks his like development is.
The Nazis did use the left to boost their numbers. Your chat is just cringing because, well, I mean, they kind of did a little bit, but also, I don't know if it was accurate to say that the leftist populist shit was super popular. I think a lot of countries were, and a lot of people were terrified of leftist movements at the time. Like that was also one of the ways that far-right movements, I think, grew in early Germany was because people were afraid of another revolution like what happened in Russia. And a lot of people expected that to happen, and so people were scared of that too. I mean,
his political development.
I guess I don't know what the overall view, well, I guess more of them eventually fell to the right than the left, so.
Yeah, Mussolini, Son of Century is the show I'm talking about. Anyway, so here, listen to the first half and then listen to the second half. This is.
Hold on, let me get my sandwich. Oh my God, dude, this is painful. Jesus Christ. Like he's stuck in like 2018 political commentary, like, oh, Fuentes is mask on right here. No, he's not. He genuinely believes all of this. Most of these people are unhappy with how Trump turned out.
The reason why I pulled this clip is because it shows how he presents himself and what his actual real opinions are.
These are his actual real opinions. Like anybody that was as far right as Fuentes was is super pissed off. They got mad over the H-1B bullshit and the Vivek bullshit. They got mad over the over all of the showmanship of Trump, the massive allegiance to Israel, and the obsession with cucking out to everything Netanyahu wants. Like they were all upset about this. Yeah.
Anti-Semitism. You can't get your FEMA rescue money. You can't get your Harvard grants and loans. You can't get citizenship or a visa in America. Is that all this administration can do? We were promised revolutionary change. We were promised vengeance. We were promised a golden age. And what we're getting is renaming things, and like the ADL is on steroids. The ADL is taking steroids. They're looks maxing. That's all this administration seems to do. Cracker Barrel, who could forget? I mean, think about it. That's all this administration does. They came in, they renamed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Oh, they renamed the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Gulf. They should have named it the Gulf of Israel, right? Changed the names of the military bases back to Fort Bragg. Take that. And now this, they took the Cracker Barrel logo, brought it back to the original. Now we're changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War. And look, if the Trump administration was actually doing things, this would be a cool bonus.
Nick Cooks, Gulf of Israel. What? I don't remember which face that is. He knows. Oh, he said it.
So, before you get to the last 30 seconds,
Look, the war. And now this, the Gulf of Israel, right? From Mexico to the Gulf of America. Oh, they renamed the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Gulf. Okay. And look, if the Trump administration was actually doing things, this would be a cool bonus.
So, before you get to the last 30 seconds,
Look,
the first 2 minutes of this 2 minute and 34 second video is, if it cuts away at that point, the first 2 minutes of this 2 minute and 34 second video comes across like he's anti-Trump, and he's saying that like the revolutionary changes that he promised, like uplifting American lives and all this stuff is just fake, and he's just simply pro-Israel, and he's just jiggling keys in front of his base of support.
Fuentes believes all of that, and a lot of the very far right people believe all of that. This isn't a mask-on moment. You're just fucking retarded. You don't understand what any of these political movements think.
And a lot of those clips, a lot of his community recognize now that there is a major audience for this kind of commentary coming from a guy who is a fallen fan of Donald Trump. Okay? If you watch the first 2 minutes, you think, what the fuck's going on? And I see this a lot in the comments. People going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Nick Fuentes. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Nick Fuentes. I'm a black liberal and I'm agreeing with Nick Fuentes. What the hell is happening?
Jesus.
Okay?
You told him this 6 years ago and he still doesn't get it. Wait, did you find the moment? Hold on.
Other thing that you have to be really careful of too. These are the two. I'm glad you read that up. These are the two big points that I don't know if you're aware or not, but the types of these types of new conservatives are anti-corporatism, but they're also anti-interventionalism as well. So they will actually agree with you. I noticed that there were a couple times where it looked like you wanted to go hard on that, but he was able to kind of shut that down because these guys are oftentimes anti-foreign intervention as well, where they will say things like, oh, well, we actually want an isolationist, protectionist America that doesn't intervene in foreign policy as well. A lot of the new conservatives will echo those same talking points.
Yeah, the problem here, though, is that Charlie, unlike Fuentes and unlike other people, is still beholden to the same corporate benefactors that the neocons are. So, like, he might actually spice it up by saying, oh, you know what, I actually don't like corporatism. Well, it's like, dude, Foster Freeze, and I alluded to that a little bit in the debate as well, where it's like, you're funded by those people. Like, you're funded by those people. You're representing their
kind of hit that a few times. I noticed that where you would say, they're going to be mad that you're deviating from the talking points. You remember when you said that a couple times?
Yeah.
If you would hit on that, like, in a more direct way, like, so, like, every time he says, like, oh, well, I'm anti-corporatism too, and it's like, okay, well, why do you take money from them? You're just like Hillary Clinton, right? They fucking hate that word. But, like, but, like, that's like an easy thing. Like, this is what a lot of Bernie, well, me included, this is what people criticize Hillary for, was that if I bring up Hillary Clinton's
Me included. Oh, when I was a Bernie bro.
list, she's going to tell me on one hand that she's for, financial reform of all banking, blah, 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 but then you see like Citigroup and all these people like donors, like, how the fuck am I supposed to believe you? Like, you're getting your marching orders from these guys.
Or when Bernie moved her further to the left, obviously, because she had to forcibly acknowledge that
That's what's going on here. He has been able to capture the attention of so many people. Him, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, many of these Republican right-wing commentary people on the
He doesn't have in his brain, it's just like right to left on him. Like, that's it. Like, all of those people that you just mentioned, it's not that they were right people capturing left people or whatever. They're just all anti-establishment, and they all capture all the anti-establishment crowd loves itself, and they love to hang out with each other. That's why you love this commentary right now. You just all are anti-establishment people.
independent media side have been able to capture the attention of so many liberals, okay? And that comes from a void in the left flank, and it also stems from the reality that we are too predisposed with fighting against one another instead of ensuring that we have some semblance of messaging discipline on this issue.
Fighting against each other? Oh my God, bro. Jesus.
And also partially because the most moneyed side of the liberal media ecosystem is entirely pro-Israel, okay? So when you do have a guy who is able to cut through the fucking noise and develop a major audience online, someone like myself, they get fucking tarred and feathered by dumbfuck liberals and also even dumbfuck leftists who believe the dumbfuck liberals and the dumbfuck Republicans, okay?
This is like, Hasan might be the highest paid leftist messenger in the world. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Maybe in mainstream media? Maybe some of these contracts are bigger than what he's made on Twitch? Like, who are the left people? Who are you talking about that's more paid than you, bro?
This is something that I tried to explain to people in the past where I was like, look, liberals, you did it. You did it. You successfully undermined your left flank. And in the process of doing that, of course, someone right-wing was going to rise up to the occasion and come across as a completely normal centrist, right? That's the Asmongold phenomena. The most consequential aspect of like the destinies of the world consistently coming after me for their own personal narcissistic vengeance quest has made it so that I have so many fucking ridiculous claims that are completely made up about me swirling around in the ecosystem for all of the dumbfuck apolitical people to tune into with a network of slop tubers that are constantly pumping out this kind of content.
All of my criticisms about Hasan are about his political commentary. This is the guy who called me, what did he say? Sex pestiny, molestiny, sex, whatever the fuck. He's got like 17 different nicknames for me now. And all of the commentary people came after you because of your crazy support for terrorism. They weren't personal attacks. But I mean, he's just saying this for his audience, I guess.
That ultimately, people that don't actually get any sort of fucking critical examination of their commentary or their worldview get to fucking rise up to the top. This is part of the reason why I have regularly maintained this idea that unless it's like literally someone being pro-Israel, I'm just not going to spend a whole deal of time attacking even liberal content creators. Okay?
Now he's doing it because he wants to mask on. He wants to actually mask on. Again, there's an easy way to get to the fact of the matter on this. It's very, very, very easy. I claim that Hasan misrepresents all the time. He misrepresents me all the time. All these leftists misrepresent me. Of course they do. This is why you never see full videos of mine. You only see these very carefully cut clips, if you even see any at all. So like Hasan will watch the Destiny or the Tiny versus Tiny TikTok channel. Yeah, they constantly, and then they have to hide, right? Hasan claims the exact same thing, but only one of us is willing to actually step up and clarify the record. Because I would talk to any of these crazy fucking leftists, the Emma fucking dipshit land and Anna Bimbo Sparian and Hasan Diddy Piker, like any of these people. But but they're the ones who will hide from any critical confrontation. And the reason why is because they need that facade. It has to be maintained in order for any of the audience to buy into this fantastic delusion. Because the microsecond any of these leftists like step into the ring with anybody who disagrees with them, like very quickly, like the lack of knowledge they have and the misrepresentation they do of the other side is exposed. It's like instantaneous. The facade has to drop.
Fucking Fuentes is centrist. I'm not saying that. I'm not even remotely presenting it as such. But this is a byproduct of having a message void for the left and for the liberals in general, in terms of just like always fucking unconditionally and unyieldingly, uncompromisingly being coming at this issue from a pro-Palestinian side. When liberals are more predisposed with attacking their left flank for demonstrating true anti-fascist principles, then of course someone who presents themselves as centrist like Asmongold is going to rise to the occasion and actually unironically build a momentum and an audience off of said liberals who now tune into him to think, well, he's at least better than Hasan. He's not fucking dangerous radical like Hasan is. Meanwhile, Asmongold is also a pipeline to Nick Fuentes. This is it. So this message isn't for whoever you think it's for. It's not for like the molestiny type content creators.
Thank you.
Okay, those guys are never going to change their fucking behavior. This is for their audiences who do actually care about growing fascism in this country and have just been deluded into thinking that the most successful way to combat it is by attacking the fucking left flank of the Democratic Party and assuming that people who are critical of the supposed left flank of American politics are actually critical because they have some sinister purpose behind it because they want Donald Trump to win or some shit. Okay?
Well, again, just look at the reaction to Donald Trump winning. Where were all of the leftists that were completely and totally distraught? Oh no, Donald Trump won the election. Where was Antifa in 2025? Where was Antifa in 2024? Really makes you think. Hold on. No!
Because if you consistently consider, I mean, this has historically happened post-World War II. It has happened leading up to World War II when fascist movements were growing. Liberals consistently engaging in appeasement for growing fascist movements out of fear that they're going to lose power, lose their grip on power, end up offering amenities and offering power to the fascists because they think they can just like wield some semblance of wield some power to I guess like maybe prevent full-blown.
This never happened. Like, this just didn't happen. It was the communists in Germany that were happy to see the fascists, the brown shirts, fight against the SPD. It was the Soviets who were making agreements with Germany, hoping that it wouldn't go any further, that they could have their neutrality, their soft alliances with each other. It was liberals who were finally the ones who helped others defeat Nazi Germany. This idea that liberals were always helping, blah, blah, blah. Bro, who do you think Germany's biggest enemies were before they backstabbed the Soviets?
On fascist takeover, and it is a failure. It was a failure before World War II, and it has been an abject failure after World War II. That's why you see so many anti-communists end up directly, like anti-communist liberals, like Canada is a great example of this, like directly becoming a critical supply line for consistent fascist movements. Because who are the most vicious post-World War II? Who were the most vicious and most successful anti-communists? Fascists were. The ones that weren't killed or the ones that weren't arrested post-World War II. They were immediately activated by liberals who wanted to engage in a Cold War, by liberal capitalists.
What? The fascists all lost in World War II. Do you remember that? Hello? Who the fuck is he talking about?
Democracies that wanted to engage in a Cold War against the real scary enemy and keep the real scary enemy, the USSR, at bay.
Okay.
Okay? This is real dangerous shit. Now that I showed you the first 2 minutes, let's see what his actual opinions are.
If the Trump administration was actually doing things, this would be a cool bonus. And maybe you could make a defense for it. No pun intended. Maybe there's a case to be made for this. But if you're not doing anything, like take a look around. The deportation's not happening. The legal immigration will continue. 600,000 Chinese students. War in Ukraine is, if anything, it's getting worse. We do this every night. I mean, you get it. The state of this administration, it's not making as much progress as it needs to be.
Yeah. Plays the first minute, then you ask for 15 minutes before playing the last 15 seconds. Okay, brother. Yeah, I wonder why I did that.
What does he think? What does he think was revealed there in the last 15 seconds that is contradictory or that makes the first 2 minutes mascot? Hello? What?
I did that to literally show you how this nefarious, cynical propaganda works. Okay? The first 2 minutes of it is all things that prime a liberal audience into finding Nick Fuentes totally appropriate because his criticisms of Donald Trump are valid here in the first 2 minutes. Okay? The last 30 seconds, however, show his true perspective. Oh, Trump is not serious enough about the mass deportations. You pause to explain, people yell at you. If you play without commenting, people yell at you. You cannot win. I know, it's stupid. So, that's it. So many of you are proving why Nick Fuentes is getting popular because you're so fucking TikTok brain you can't function past 5 minutes on a single topic. Yep. And there are a million different videos like this all over TikTok. His fans are basically blasting this shit all over the timeline, all up and down the timeline because they recognize that there aren't that many skilled orators that are actively communicating how fucked up the Trump administration is, especially with its like undying loyalty to Israel. Okay? And they are presenting Nick Fuentes as like an anti-Trump possible progressive figure. It's crazy. Meanwhile, I don't think his opinions have changed at all. This is what I mean when I say the danger of like allowing Tucker Carlson all the way back in 2016. I wrote about this extensively. I talked about this extensively. Liberals were so predisposed with attacking the Bernie Sanderses and the left flank of their own party's base of support for being true progressives on a lot of economic issues, created an environment where there was a void in the discourse from the left flank, and this is broad. When I say left flank, I don't mean like literally these guys are leftists. I just mean like to the left of the Republican Party on the media ecosystem. There were no voices that were actually channeling a true, earnest, economic populist message. So Tucker Carlson took advantage of that on Fox News every night and presented himself as one of the only voices that was actually channeling left-wing economic populism. For years, he did this.
One of the only voices. This was the largest host of right-wing media in the United States of America and the world. What are you talking? Like he's talking about Tucker Carlson like this guy was like some kind of fucking alternative media champion or whatever.
Okay, for years he did this, and a similar thing is now happening with Israel. Okay. That's it. There's a reason why people think like, well, some of the most, visible, some of the most like, some of the loudest voices for Palestinian emancipation are right-wingers and far-right people. Some of the loudest voices for Palestinian emancipation are right-wingers and far-right people.
Nobody says that, little bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
Now happening with Populism. For years he did this. Okay? For years he did this. And a similar thing is now happening with Israel. Okay? That's it. There's a reason why people think like, well, some of the most, visible, some of the most like, some of the loudest voices for Palestinian emancipation are right-wingers and far-right people.
Like, you understand Fuentes, Carlson, these people are not pro-Palestinian. They're just anti-Israel / anti-interventionalism.
A lot of liberals also have this idea that they, these guys can be fixed, Meanwhile, they don't realize that in that process, they themselves are actually leaning into the nefarious part of his agenda, the nationalist message. Okay?
Yeah, those people are just freaks. The whole like,
look,
anyone that has any genuine racial hatred, we have to just say there's something wrong with you. I understand not wanting to live around black people. I get it. And I understand when you see what black people do, some of them, I understand hating that. But this whole like autistic racial, like actual racialism, actual racial militant hatred, it is like a freak show, because that comes from an emotional place. It is one thing to say that, like, there are whites and blacks, and black people clearly are not on our level of development, and that's why they're struggling.
Like, I don't, this is what I said before, how I said xenophobia is not racism. You can't call it racism, because if you just call it racism, you're going to run into issues when you debate people, or, well, I guess nobody debates anybody anymore because everybody's too fucking retarded to do it or scared of a challenge, or to challenge their ideas. But like people like Fuentes, the new American far right, the MAGA people, and then like the far right, the neo-Nazis even, these people will not say things like, we hate all other races, or we're racist, we want to deport all non-white people. Like, a lot of them will literally say that, like, American blacks are just as much American as American whites. They're part of our founding stock. They were slaves, whatever. They might still believe in the race realist arguments around IQ and shit, but they're going to be fighting for lowering the amount of non-white immigration. They're going to be fighting to deport maybe people related to South America or Africa, but not necessarily, like, African-American, like, the descendants of slaves. It can appear to be similar, but the talking points are quite different. And if you approach somebody like this, like, Fuentes has more black friends than Hasan has. Garrett fucking Teed. Fuentes has more Hispanic friends than Hasan has. Garrett fucking Teed. Like, the only friends that Hasan is going to have are fucking Asians and white people that live in LA, or whoever's in his immediate vicinity in any of the little political fun groups that he goes to hang out in, which are going to be overwhelmingly white people. The idea that, like, you can't just treat them like racists. They're xenophobic and nationalist. And there's some overlap, but also some of it is quite different.
That's why they're not integrating well, and that's why there are these problems. Like, it's one thing to say that clinically, and it's one thing to see what they do and get frustrated by it and get angry about it. It's a whole other thing to have this, like, persistent, like, antipathy for vast groups of people. That is just like a low IQ, like a dysfunctional thing. And everything, oh, well, but that doesn't make you mad. It's like, yeah, it makes me mad. But I'm not filled with like racial hatred for an entire group. Even the Jews, even the Jews, as much as justified as it would be. No, but even like I do actually like a lot of Jewish people. Like I even though Jewish people have ruined my life in many ways and like they do horrible things, I don't have a hatred for them as a group, and I can say nice things about them, But that comes from being a Christian. That's the kind of peace, and that's the kind of disposition that you can only have if you love God, if you truly have love in your heart for people. And it's no coincidence. It's always these pagans that harbor this intense animosity all the time. And if you
I think I pointed this out in the past, and somebody reminded me to point this out. You know that Hasan will scroll his chat. He'll pause it when he's worried that chat is about to go unhinged, right? So like when Fuentes brought up Jews here, and he's waiting for the stream to catch up a little, he'll pause it a little bit to read the chat coming in to see if he needs to skip it or if he can allow it to go through, because he's always worried that they're all going to start saying some unhinged shit. So like when Fuentes started going off on the Jews here, he kind of paused his chat,
and it's no,
right here, and then he waits a bit,
it's always these pagans,
and then he'll like scroll up and down and read, and then he'll scroll if it's okay. He does that a lot.
Harbor this intense animosity all the time. And if you have that, you really got to get over that. And that doesn't mean you need to stop being racist. It doesn't mean you got to stop being quote unquote racist. But you got to let go of wrath. You have to let go of anger. You can't let that define you.
Yeah. He's like, his racial animosity stems from a totally reasonable anger that he feels, born out of maybe even the structural undermining of black people. Like, do you understand how he is nefariously packaging just like regular ass racist opinions, but recalculating and restructuring it in a way where it like is supposed to make sense to the normie, to the average normie, while simultaneously casting people who have racial animus for, as he calls it, like autistic racial purity and race realism opinions. He's saying in this short video, he basically says that black people are undermined structurally, and it creates an environment where like they end up behaving in violent ways, and that creates resentment, and that's an understandable resentment to have.
No. Unless Fuentes' views have changed significantly over the past year or two, I haven't watched him as much, Fuentes will believe that culture is a phenotype of a particular group of people, that black people or Indians or whatever can never really have the same cultural they can't exude the same culture as white people because our genetic stock is different and our culture is going to be downstream of whatever our genes produce. Fuentes is not going to sit here and say, two races of people can be made exactly the same if the environmental things are made. Unless his views have changed significantly, he won't say that. This is where the Sam Hyde talking point comes from, this neo-Nazi-ish talking point. Or far right. When I say neo-Nazi, that doesn't mean you shut your brain off and just say it's bad, okay? There's different ways you analyze all these talking points, right? This is the talking point of we are not just interchangeable economic units. The idea is that some types of races are distinct on the genetic level from other types of races, and our cultures come from those distinct genetic differences that are built into us.
Okay? Of course, ultimately, this is not, ultimately he doesn't even believe that. He does believe the racial purity politics. He's a fucking Nazi, right? Like he is still saying that there's a genetic component associated with it, but you shouldn't be super mad ultimately about it. Like this is why he's a dangerous propagandist ultimately, because he is trying to normalize the eugenicist perspectives that he has in a way that can go either way, where you can.
What does it have to do with eugenics?
Just like, where he gives himself like a level of plausible deniability by saying like I'm not like those kinds of racists when he very clearly is those kinds of racist, and his entire community is that kind of racist. And of course, the hallmark of Republican thought is once again always saying a whole bunch of debunked and insane nonsense and simultaneously packaging it as common sense, right?
Also, didn't Hasan open this clip criticizing me by saying that Fuentes is good at organizing, and now this is like a 20-minute glaze fest of Fuentes' rhetoric that Hasan is too stupid to even understand and explain properly?
One example that immediately comes to mind is like one of these fucking Nazis on Twitter that went viral a while back, which is of course it's always happening, unfortunately, was the idea that someone was trying to like do this like normalized racism argument, like who even actually is fond of their black neighbors, right? And I think it initially went initially went viral. One of your bots banned me for a reason. I just disagreed. Dude, please stop. I don't care, okay? And it wasn't like you got literally banned and unbanned. You got timed out, man. Shut the fuck up. You said L-Take, bro. Nick Fuentes is in his own circle. You can't compare him with anyone mentioned. Just stop. It doesn't matter. You got timed out. Please stop being such whiny fucking crybabies, man. I'm trying to make a broader point here, and I can't. I have to deal with like everyone's own personal fucking me bullshit. Okay. Oh my god, my voice is not being heard right now in this very moment. I got timed out for 600 seconds. Unacceptable. You got timed out for 10 minutes. Calm down. God. We're talking about the oppression of governments. We're talking about like growing fascist movements in here, and you're literally thinking like the major oppression that I'm facing here is that a moderator timed me out for 10 minutes.
Bro, we're trying to.
own age. And I look and I go around sometimes and I hang out with other people that are my age and they're just kind of just
Why am I timed out? 10 minutes, I'm timed out.
dude, like, oh my God. Like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
Shut up. Jesus Christ. Anyway, take a breath. The point I was making was that there was a Twitter post that went viral where it was like, oh, people that say they don't have like racist opinions have like never lived around black people. If you lived around black people, you would immediately realize, why people hold on to these like racist resentments that people call racist, but they're not, all this shit. And it went viral on Twitter first in like the neo-Nazi circles, and then people started like quote retweeting it and being like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Because like, while something might come across as like common sense, depending on how insane your immediate circle online is, and while certain kinds of narratives can be boosted by other people, especially at a time when like there's unprecedented virality for right-wing neo-Nazi type sentiments on Twitter, okay? Ultimately, in the real world, the common sense narrative is not living around black people is a terrifying prospect and it's really fucked up, okay? Especially for diverse environments like major cities in this fucking country where you do live around a lot of black and brown people in a diverse environment. It's so stupid. It's an incredibly stupid statement. You're childish. You're like a baby. You're
I made a video a little while
of people that you have never actually lived around from afar. Because if you did, you would realize that there is no genuine resentment or fear against your fucking neighbors. And the same goes for undocumented migrants as well. People think like undocumented migrants are like a special subcategory because they don't even realize that they're, living around undocumented migrants with regular frequency. They're working in the kitchen, they're working at the grocery store, they're working at the poultry facility down the street, they're a part of your community. It's just that you have never encountered someone and know that they are undocumented. So you have this like false notion that they're all scary. They're all scary. A fear of the...
Oh no. The Hill. Opinion. Kamala's newest lie. Trump will send the army after you. From Derek Hunter. October 16th, 2024. Vice President Kamala Harris sure lies a lot. I'm not just talking about pretending she hasn't been the co-pilot of the Biden administration's inflation and the border invasion, but about everything. Before we get to the latest whopper, it's important to acknowledge how lies flourish. They need a fertile media ground in which to grow. So now we have another lie, the enemy within lie. This is a 33-second clip of an interview Trump did with Maria Bartiromo.
The bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of election day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military.
Crazy how both of those things happened in California, huh? Both of those things happened. He stole the National Guard from them and deployed them, and then deployed the Marines, right? Was it 600 Marines?
Because they can't let that happen. I think the big...
Sounds terrifying, doesn't it? Democrats inside and outside of media pretended to be horrified and ran with it because it was just too good to ignore. But there was a problem, and I'm not just talking about the fact that the current Democratic president has made allusions to using fighter jets against American civilians, and that Democratic members of Congress have even discussed using nuclear weapons. What? I don't even know what this is in reference to. I'm talking about this. What they show is less than half of a clip where the context is crystal clear. Trump was asked about Election Day violence, which Democrats are warning about. He raised the issue of the violent left-wing Antifa rioters who have been involved in frequent violence and property destruction ever since the Black Lives Matter riots. Wait, what year is this written? 2024? The fuck? That same author wrote this article today. Wait. It's Democrats or America. It can't be both. Jesus. All right. Clip of the day.
Bing! Real quick, check out the video I did with the annoying orange. Bing! Bing.
Hold on. Okay. Tory Branham brags about calling ICE on Hyundai plant raid. With all the
152 illegals apprehended at the Hyundai mega plant construction.
Hyundai?
The Hyundai mega plant construction site at the Hyundai mega plant construction site yesterday near Savannah. And I was the one that reported the information that I had to ICE. But it goes beyond just someone working illegally. Let me explain to you. These people are working for slave wages. Some are not getting paid. Some are being trafficked. They send money home to their country. They give money to their handler. They have hardly anything left. They live in homes 5 families deep, have no quality of life. It's modern day slavery. So if you think that ICE is just going in and ripping people out of their jobs, these hardworking people that want a better life, well, guess what? Politicians have really screwed these people, because when they came here, they thought they were, you know, hey, the border's open, we're coming in, we're going to get the 5-star treatment, and we can go to the big Walmart, and we can live in a 5-star hotel, and that's just not how it is. It's very bad conditions, very inhumane, and the Biden administration started a humanitarian crisis. So y'all can't just look at it like they're ripping good people off the job. They're probably saving their lives in the long run.
What country are we in? These people are literal slaves being... Okay.
And it just confirms, you looked at that appearance before Congress, and it just confirms what all of us around this table have known for decades. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a foolish man, full of foolish and vapid ideas. And that was on display again this week in front of Congress. And I really don't want to hear about Bill Cassidy, because he is a co-conspirator with the President of the United States for putting this wholly unqualified man in charge of 25% of all government spending. Without Cassidy's vote,
Cassidy was the one who grilled him with some good questions, but ultimately he voted to confirm. So, I mean, like, the fuck does it matter, right? Good. True.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would not be it. And maybe he's feeling some guilt from what he did. But I'll tell you this. The president did this. He knows. The president's smart enough to know RFK Jr. doesn't belong in that job. But after he won, he wanted to show everybody, I can do whatever I want to do, because this Senate will be compliant no matter what I do. And I'll put the greatest vaccine and public health denier of the last 20 years in charge of public health in America. It's a human middle finger, George, to everybody who opposed him.
Did seem caught up. On the one hand, he wants to brag.
You looked at that appearance.
Watch Fear End Pod to find out more about whether this is a real heated gender battle that reminds people of their own worst moments with men, or a bit between friends that definitely went way outside of the target audience. Maybe it's both. Wait, what? Women should make misogynistic men cower and fear more often. Little bitch couldn't even look her in the eye.
I don't like talking about Taylor Swift with you guys. I'm not even kidding. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it.
You know what?
We asked you about the biggest news in America. You guys are infuriating. So it's not like, oh, how exciting! What flowers is she gonna have? You're like, oh my God, Kitty, did you shit yourself? Did you shit in your little pretty pants? You stupid little bitch that loves Taylor Swift. Did you drink your pumpkin spice latte and kick your stupid little boots in the air? You dumb little fucking cunt. Is that what you say to me?
We need to do.
Jesus. Jesus, this person is so mad. Oh, 230. Oh, I just saw that. I'm sorry. 236,000 likes. God damn. Woo, that made the rounds. We watched this. Yeah, I know. I didn't know that it got a huge tweet on it, though. This debate is going to be painful. Every debate is painful now. Everything is pain. The Hasan Piker effect. What the fuck is this? People are trying to believe a lie. Truth becomes the enemy.
Maybe it's somehow towards understanding, or even toward a desire to seek truth and heal. Naive, but I actually... So his following grew fast with Hamas attacks on Israeli civilians. They were the natural... He makes money thinking out loud.
Okay, based. I have a debate in like 5 minutes. I don't have time, I'm sorry.
I said I'll put. I said I'll put.
Now you only said that because what?
He also. I said I'll put. I said I'll put 30,000 on his fucking head because he said he's gonna kidnap me.
And I said, fuck up.
You said that in the car.
You gonna put 30,000 on my head,
right now,
and I'm gonna kill you
To kill somebody or to beat somebody up? Or
right now. You put 30,000 on my head. Talking about nothing,
bro.
A nigga said that? Nothing.
You said he's gonna put 30,000. He said he's gonna kill me and kidnap me first.
Punga said that the whole
Why
time.
did you say that?
Punga?
Words First, on my mother's life to live first. And you even called your man saying, "Oh, yo, tell me how I get.
There was some dirty niggas
That's
who
what
said
you said.
get
The fuck out, gang. Get out. Oh yeah, 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 get out.
Wait, really? This all started because Kai gave 3 of them a challenge to not smoke weed for the next 24 hours and they would split 100K. This was about 6 hours into the challenge. Based. So I'm taking shots at Sneeko.
Sneaker do to get kicked out? What did Sneaker do to get kicked out? I don't know. Be fucking a Holocaust denier for like the past 2 years. Advocate for pedophilia also. Claim that he only reverted to Islam so that he could have multiple wives over and over again. Just basically adopt like the most reactionary Westerner Islamophobic framework of Islam.
The normal, all of those are pretty normal opinions. Those aren't the crazy ones, bro. But okay. Not in the United States. These are pretty crazy to be fair, but
like overall bad vibes, I think, to be associated with a candidacy that currently is under unimaginable amounts of attack. Like to the average person in the media, I think they would love, they would love to catch Zohran Mamdani with someone like Sneeko. So they could just hammer him in a way that they never did with Eric Adams.
Wouldn't the same thing happen with Hasan?
They already didn't allow him to come to the election night stream because I think he like tried to come in.
Oh, that's why he's attacking Sneeko. Oh, I don't know if associating Sneeko with Zohran's campaign would probably be pretty bad. I don't think they should do it. But Sneeko is technically like the perfect person to be captured by Zohran. Like the Zohran guy seems pretty chill. Could maybe rewire Sneeko for being so fucking crazy, unhinged. But that would be like a mentor role or whatever, and this guy doesn't have the time for it. This commercial. I need to use the restroom 1 sec.
Well, folks, we've done it again. We can't take any more of your money. Truly, you need to stop. Thanks to you, we've raised the maximum amount of money we can spend in this race, $8 million. And you've done it with more than 2 months to go until the election. So that means we got it in the bag, right? Wrong. You think Bill Ackman's gonna sit back and let us walk into City Hall? No, he's gonna write a very long tweet and then cut an even bigger check to one of our opponents. So get ready to see a lot more scary videos of this face on your TV. But just like we did in June, this movement can overcome their money in November. So we are once again asking, not for your dollars, but your time. Sign up to Canvas or Phone Bank at ZahranforNYC.com/events. Make it a weekly shift. And above all, do not send us any more money.
How can I help you this beautiful morning?
You got any cases?
3. Got a teenage African-American lung transplant
Next 2
recipient.
days you'll be doing nothing but clinic work.
I just said...
You were lying.
Well, then why'd you ask?
Because if you told the truth, I was only going to give you 1 day of clinic duty.
That's dishonest. I refuse to participate
You'll
in this.
do it. You owe me. I kept you out of jail. I can put you back.
How can I...
Stop, House. This is not your stream. What do I have autoplay on? Wait, what the fuck is the server? Oh, it's this one.
I can go send you a DM with a link to it if you want.
Okay. Oh, my camera is lagging somehow.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know, on my OBS end, everything looks fine, but then I go to my stream and then my my camera quality just drops like a rock, and I don't know what's happening.
We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RGR Roundtable. I am your host, Riley Grace Strong, and these are our wonderful panelists. Say hi, wonderful panelists.
Hello.
Wow, hello.
Hello. Hello, hello, hello. So, for our panelists and for the people who are watching, this is the second show in this series. While there's no perfect way of doing this, I'm trying to incorporate feedback and make adjustments as I go. Namely, tonight, you'll notice that not only are we cutting down severely on the number of panelists since last time, but I've also vetted each panelist to make sure that there are 2 panelists on each side of this debate. So, Vince, you all right there? Are you glitching out a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, but you're still with us.
Yes, of course.
All right, all good. Then let's get right into it. For tonight, here are the rules in case you forgot from last time. Number 1, if I'm talking, stop talking. I don't want to participate, so if I get involved, it's either to simulate conversation or to get things back on track. Number 2, be respectful of me. You can hate on each other, name calling, all that sort of stuff is fine, but I'm putting in a lot of work to make this happen, so don't make things harder on me than necessary. And number 3, stay on topic. Related tangents are fine, but don't dig up unrelated personal drama. And with that, let's go around and have our panelists briefly introduce themselves. North, would you like to go first?
Sure, I'm North. You can find me on YouTube at North is Live, or you can find me on X at That Guy's North. I'm an ever-Trump Republican. I'm a conservative, but like pre-2016, I guess. I hate Trump and I hate MAGA. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to me.
Wait, is my camera on for you guys, or is it off?
Your camera is not on.
Oh, we just weren't gonna say anything. Oh, okay, fuck you guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. No, we're
Okay.
just gonna let you like flounder like that.
That's good. Okay, whatever.
You manage your own stuff.
The handicap.
Vince, go ahead.
Okay, hello, I'm Vince. I usually do pro-Ukraine content with occasional politics. I'm mostly centrist, more leaning to the left. That's my political position. You can find me on Real Visigoths. It's RealVisigoth. Real Visigoths. It's everywhere: Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere, TikTok. So yeah.
All right. She's right. Go ahead.
Hi, you can find me at she'srightshow.com. I sell a cool hat. I am a liberal and I am upset with the state of politics right now.
Cool. And last but not least, Destiny, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Destiny. I do politics and gaming stuff sometimes.
Cool. With that, the topic for today is whether or not Trump is mentally and physically fit to continue serving as president. Since we have a smaller panel tonight, I'll go around and have each panelist give a brief opening statement, with those alleging that Trump is not mentally and physically fit to continue serving as president go first. After all the statements are done, then y'all can freely discuss as you like. Destiny, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I don't think he's physically fit for the presidency. I think there are 2 huge issues right now relating to Trump. I think the first is that his default mental baseline is so low that it's almost impossible to even accurately evaluate him from the outside. If you talk to any conservative and you ask them things about Trump, like they make excuses for it constantly. Even like the more centrist actors will admit that like he's always been kind of like wrong when it comes to remembering country names, remembering leaders' names, remembering when the war in Ukraine began, remember just basic facts about anything, forgetting the fact that he's the one that put in Jerome Powell and saying he doesn't know who did it. Like there's just so many times where he's messed up, but his mental baseline has always been so low, it's hard to even tell if he's getting worse. Although you can tell from his speech patterns and everything that he has slowed down significantly. And then the second issue is that Trump's admin has already shown that they are willing to lie about his medical record. We're now finding out that he has chronic issues relating to delivering blood back to his heart. He's got these massive swollen fucking cankles this is a chronic condition. So apparently it's been hidden for some time period from us. And now we see that he's on a bunch of new drugs related to things that you would use for ischemic strokes. I don't know if that's what's actually happening or not, but the issue is, again, as I said, one, we can't evaluate him from the outside because his mental baseline is already so low. And then two, we already know that his own doctor is willing to lie, like he did about his weight and height as well. So.
Okay, thank you. And then next, she's right. Do you want to go ahead?
True. I agree that whether or not he's showing signs of dementia or he's always been this stupid is MAGA's cross to bear. But I do know that physically he's very, very old. I believe at this point, the oldest president we've ever had. He's having heart problems, which are very predictable based on his lifestyle. Even the ones that have been officially disclosed, I don't know if that's all his health problems. And I think that makes him a ticking time bomb where there's a reasonable possibility he could drop dead any day, which is bad for long-term policy negotiations, economics, trade, anything like that, where you need a vested interest in what happens tomorrow to be a good representative of it. And I think other leaders are not going to take him seriously. And I don't think he is thinking with tomorrow in mind.
All right, and then we'll head over to the other side. Vince, you want to go ahead?
I think Trump is not perfect in terms of health, and I definitely don't want to cover for him, but I have to today. He mentally, I think he's pretty fine. I don't want to compare, but he's definitely better than Biden. And I think he's pretty fit. He might have been better, and he's pretty dumb and does a lot of mistakes, but I don't think he has dementia or anything like that. So I think mentally, unless you consider him mentally ill, which he probably is, I think he's pretty fine. So I think he can run the country.
And lastly, North, you want to go ahead with an opening statement?
If we're going to criticize someone, we got to make sure the criticism is real and not some sort of baseless speculation. The memes are pretty funny, but I've seen pretty much zero evidence that Trump's physical and mental health are to the point that he needs to be like removed from the office of the presidency. Based on the Constitution as we know it, the 25th Amendment and past precedent with other presidents, we can clearly see that I don't like Trump, but I don't see any reason why he should be removed based off of his physical and mental health alone. That's pretty much it.
Okay, and with that, y'all can get into it however you want to.
Riley, I'm going to kill you. Well, I feel like it's harder because there are questions you could ask to conservatives, but if these two weren't genuinely conservatives, it changes the conversation a little. I think one big issue right now that I would say is a fun test for conservatives. If you were to ask them, could Trump die in any way right now that you wouldn't assume is a conspiracy? I think that most conservatives would actually honestly answer they wouldn't believe it. Like if Trump has a heart attack, they would say he got poisoned. If Trump were to fall down the stairs, they'd say they were oiled up and he slipped. If Trump were to, if anything were to happen to him, I don't even think a conservative could accept that right now. Do either of you disagree with that? I guess it's not relevant necessarily if you're not.
I don't think it's relevant to the conversation about whether Trump is fit or not. Like whether a conservative will accept the fact that Trump is healthy or not doesn't matter to the subject matter. Kind
of, but I think it gives a little bit more weight to the idea that maybe his health is a thing that we should be concerned about, because if Biden's health was severely failing and Biden were to have an issue, we saw the whole Democratic Party call out Biden and say, "Oh, you need to step down." And then it happened, and then Kamala. Well, it happened in terms of re-election, and then Kamala stepped up instead. But with Trump, the Conservative Party wouldn't be able to do it. So we could literally have a guy rolling around the Oval Office, forgetting leader names, forgetting people that he's put into power, disappearing from media for 3 or 4 days, not knowing what he's talking. These are all things that he does. Having executive orders explained to him while the shadow government actually runs the organization. These are things that have happened to Trump that I don't even think happened to Biden.
Well, the reason why we know that Trump is, he disappears for several days without us knowing where he is the fact that he's on a media presence a lot more than past presidents. You would look at Obama, George Bush, and especially Biden, they were not on the media just as much as Trump is. So I don't think that's necessarily an indicator that Trump's health is failing if he disappears for like 3 days.
Well, true, but they had work schedules posted publicly and publicly available. Trump's schedule was completely cleared. And then after the fact, they put on like one interview appearance. On the Wayback Machine, people confirmed that was not there. But we can prove they're working. We know they're doing something, even without being on media.
Okay, but how does him canceling an event indicate like some sort of health problem? For all we know, he just didn't want to attend because he doesn't give a fuck, because I don't think he does honestly really give a fuck. And he just blew it off to go golfing. Like, how does that necessarily indicate a health problem?
I don't think it necessarily does, but when this guy's obsessed with media attention, when now we've discovered that there are problems that we only know about because people pointed it out, it's not like they proactively came to us with the chronic venous, whatever it was. It was because people noticed his ankles were fucking huge, and because this guy is trying to dress up his hand every single day when he's getting IVs for whatever medication he's taken, right? This wasn't revealed to us. This was discovered, and they were forced to make a public statement on it after he had said that he was the most open president about his health ever. So we know now they're willing to lie about stuff like that. We know that his weight was a lie in that report published by his friendly doctor. So, I mean, like, all of these things taken collectively, while this guy disappears for a few days, the press isn't allowed to get close to take pictures, even though this guy is giving half of his interviews outside of his fucking airplane and his helicopter, right? Now all of a sudden he disappears for 3 or 4 days. I think that's pretty weird. It's kind of a cause for concern.
Well, it could be a cause for concern, but it's nothing definitive. It's all completely speculative. And especially when you're calling for him to be removed from the office of the president, or when we're determining if he's going to be removable from the office of the presidency. I mean,
it has to be speculative, right? We'll never get anything definitive from them, right?
I mean, no, probably not, unless someone leaks documents, but...
So then it has to be speculative, right?
Well, but then is it speculative... Is speculation on Trump's health enough to get him removed from the office of the presidency, or give a legitimate enough argument that he should be removed? I mean, take Biden, for example, Throughout his entire presidency, we see people constantly criticizing, mostly on the conservative side, but also on the liberal side, as you said, at the very end of his presidency, that Biden's health was not good, and that there should be possible action taken of him, either like stepping down or like having his advisors do more of the work than what he would be doing. What the fuck was I going with this argument?
That might be true that people were worried about something, but that's because Biden's cognitive baseline was way, 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 way higher than Trump's. Trump shows less cognitive ability right now than Biden did at his lowest points.
What evidence do you have for that? Because I've
Trump
seen
arguing
the
with the
Trump
current
speeches
president of
in
Ukraine
him.
when Crimea was invaded would be a big one. Him not knowing that he was the one that appointed Powell is a big one. Him having to have every single executive order that he signs explained to him. I couldn't find a single example of Biden having to have his own EOs explained to him. I think that's a big one.
But okay, do you think Trump could... Okay, I personally think that Trump is a chronic liar. Like, can we all...
Do you think he lied when he said he was going to Russia to talk to Putin, but he was actually just going to Alaska? Was that a lie?
I think he just makes shit up when he goes. Okay. I don't think that's necessarily determinative of like a cognitive decline.
Sure. So you're doing the thing.
Like, he could just make shit up whenever it's determined. Like the whole 2 week shit, Like,
but you're doing the thing right now that I said conservatives would do. That you'll never accept. There is no evidence that we can show, because you'll just say he's making it up, he's memeing, he's joking. This is the same thing conservatives would say.
Well, I'm not saying he's making it up as in like to discredit what he says. I'm just saying that he's just like a chronic liar. And
why would he lie about not remembering appointing Jerome Powell?
Well, it's not him. Well, the reason why he would lie is because he wants to criticize Jerome Powell, right? He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, oh, I don't know who the fuck that guy is. And that's like an insult against him, I guess. Because he can't admit that he's the one that...
Why would he lie about when the Ukrainian war started?
Why would he lie? Because he doesn't give a fuck.
Why would he, when he was with the South African president and they asked him about the genocide case, do you remember watching with the South African president?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay, he didn't know what that case was about, and he rattled off some nonsense answer about we hope for a good verdict. He has no idea that South Africa is the country that brought the genocide case against Israel. He didn't know about any of these things. Has there ever been moments where Biden has demonstrated that level of a lack of subject matter knowledge on when he's talking to world leaders? What about when the guy was right in front of him, the president of, I forget which country, was it the Netherlands or Denmark or whatever, was right in front of him and he didn't know who he was. He's like, oh, where's this guy? I'm looking for him. The guy's like, I'm right in front of you.
I think there's a ton of speculation here that he does in fact know everything and then he's lying because he doesn't care about it. I don't think that's been substantiated at all. I think the far simpler explanation is that he just doesn't know. Where is this information that you think he's lying about? Has he ever proven that?
Well, I think my speculation on whether he's lying or not is probably the same amount as my evidence for my speculation is probably as much evidence that you have for your speculation.
No, our evidence is that he's saying things that are incorrect. And usually if somebody's saying something that's wrong, it's because they're incorrect about the information. If you're trying to you're giving like an affirmative defense for them being wrong about something, all we've said is he's wrong. The general default explanation is he's wrong because he either doesn't know it or he's losing his mind, but you're saying he's actually faking it. Where are these people who are...
I'm just saying that he doesn't give a fuck. He'll stick with a claim and then he'll just make up whatever the fuck he wants about just to stay with that claim.
Okay, well, if he has that medical ailment, if he's actually like a chronic liar, whatever they call it, a compulsive liar, I think that that's a 25th Amendment removable condition anyway then. That would qualify just as much. Because he can't be trusted then with anything, right?
Well, I guess. Well,
okay, cool. All right, I'm good with that.
Vince, what do you got to say? You haven't said much so far.
Yeah, I think he also might be just dumb or clueless, more like clueless, like he just doesn't know stuff. But I don't think that qualifies him as mentally unstable or something.
You go back
to... Is a stable idiot good enough to rule the country?
Well, it depends if you elect an idiot to the president of the United States, does that inherently disqualify him like the moment that he steps into office? Like, is idiocy a mental disorder? Or narcissism or mental retardation is. Well, I'd like to see the extra chromosome study on Donald Trump. I think that would be pretty interesting.
I just think it's scary that like this guy seems to be utterly clueless about almost every single thing around him. I couldn't find any clips. I couldn't find any videos or anything of people handing executive orders to presidents for them to sign and explaining them to the president while he's signing them. That's very scary to me. Now, I don't know if it's because Trump is clueless, doesn't care, doesn't have the cognitive capacity to understand them anymore. There is no, I can't find a comparison. Like, what do we make?
Do you think that Trump is actually like the one making game plans when it comes to his presidency? Like when Trump talks about like the South African genocide, do you think he's going through like and doing research on like South Africa, or he's like looking at the news of like, oh, what's going on in South Africa, or is he being like fed information basically?
He's being fed information. The South African thing came from Elon Musk for 100%.
Yeah, so it could just be that he just doesn't give a shit. He's being fed information, and then he'll just spout whatever bullshit he hears.
Yeah, that sounds like a senile person.
But isn't the problem?
Sorry.
Well, it is a problem, but I'm not sure if you can say that he's a retard because of that.
Hold on. If he spouts whatever bullshit that he hears, is that just the average? Is that a diagnosis of being senile, or is that just like, I don't know, any MAGA supporter ever, whenever they're hearing whatever the fuck they hear on Fox News, they're going to be spouting whatever bullshit that they hear. I mean, it's just...
Well, yeah, but they're supposed to be spouting...
Everyone...
When you say spouting bullshit, they're supposed to be getting the bullshit from Trump. He's not supposed to be getting bullshit from other people.
I think I do think it's legitimately it's a feedback loop, It's like the media will say some bullshit and then Trump will say it, and then the media will take Trump's word and they'll feed it back to the people.
Which is a recipe for insanity. He's drinking from the hose of his own propaganda.
Yes. But is that just because he drinks from his own hose of propaganda, does that necessarily mean that he is mentally deficient enough to not be able to uphold like the office of presidency?
It means he's been shown evidence that he will believe himself and believe he's doing the right thing regardless of what the truth is. And I think that's a concern. There's no accountability to any greater population or medical authority. He's buying his own beliefs from himself.
Yes. I mean, I don't think he has any accountability with whatever the fuck he says or whatever the fuck he does. But I don't think the mere fact that he doesn't have any accountability when it comes to things like that, and just because you don't have any accountability doesn't necessarily disqualify him medically or physically.
I think here's a question. I think it's the hardest question in the world. What cognitive signs would Trump have to exhibit for us to think that like there might be something going on with him?
Like something that like Biden did on his debates when he was like stuttering completely, like,
Well, he's had that stutter since he was a kid in elementary school. So like, how does that prove cognitive decline?
Well, forget
wasn't
Biden.
Just that.
We don't. So we've watched Trump like have like mishaps when it comes to speaking. We've watched him mix up names. We've watched him mix up dates. We've watched him mix up geographic locations. Like the only difference is Biden actually tries to find the right. Yeah.
Do you remember the Bushisms from like George Bush and all that?
Yeah.
Like, would you consider that a sign of cognitive decline with George Bush?
No, because Bush was just searching for turns of phrase and was fucking him up. Trump is like saying he's going to Russia when he's going to Alaska. I don't think there was no Bushisms like that. The Bushisms are like, fool me once, shame on you, fool me another time, and you know, or whatever. Like it was him like saying, fucking up shit like that.
I think Bush is a great comparative example of like mostly harmless stupidity. I think we're playing with a whole new level here. That's actually a liability to American interests.
Well, we can say that he's stupid, but then again, that goes back to what I was saying before, is just because he's stupid, does that necessarily mean that he's necessarily disqualified from the office of the presidency?
Was he dodging
I think we get
fire when he was on the red carpet, when he was in Alaska, when he was zigzagging back and forth? Was that...
What the fuck are you talking about?
The inability of him to walk straight to the... Do you have the video of this?
Oh, no, I've not seen that. No.
Pull it up. Somebody pull it up.
Oh, yeah, someone pull it up.
You're going to put this on me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, all right.
You're the host.
All right. Put me to work. All right, let's see. Dustin, you're talking about when he was walking down the red carpet in Russia, right?
Not in Russia, in Alaska.
Well, you also
is that a sign of cognitive decline right there?
You know, maybe I need to submit myself for some mental evaluation. All right, let's see. Trump, red carpet.
In the meantime, I think we have jumped past a very important point that was made earlier, where if something did happen to Trump, I think it's enough of a misinformation behind closed doors kind of situation right now with no external accountability, that if something happened to Trump, how long would it be before you knew about it? And could you trust that reporting? I don't think with the structure he's built around himself, we would. And I think that's why people were nervous the past few days.
So I got this pulled up. I'll play this whenever people want me to.
Play it now.
I'm watching. Yeah, play it now.
Is this on your stream or what do we...
It's I'm just to Discord.
Okay. Is it going to pop up as a stream? Is it playing now? Am I stupid?
I shared it to Discord. So you should be able to, like, if you look in the Discord windows, you should be able to see it there.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So far, doesn't look that bad.
Yeah.
Handshake, all of that is something that both sides will have thought through very clearly. Striking to me, Scott, that you have this setup here.
Look at him on the left. Watch him here. What's going on here, guys?
There's a blue platform for the leaders to stand on, which aides were vigorously vacuuming in the hour leading up to this meeting. But then flanking the stage are F-22 jets. American
I don't think it looks that bad,
jets,
honestly.
noses pointed in
Hold on.
toward where the two leaders will be standing. It's got to be somewhat unpleasant for Vladimir Putin, at least, to stand underneath that display of American firepower.
Wow. That was a full... He traveled left to right almost...
Yeah.
Twice.
Left, right, almost back. Yeah.
What's going on there, guys?
Even then, I don't think that's necessarily disqualifying of him remaining in the office as the presidency. I mean, we've had, was it FDR was bound to a fucking wheelchair, during, I don't know how many fucking years in his term.
Wait, what does that have to do with this?
Well, you're saying that his mobility issues would
No, those
disqualify him
were
from
not
being
mobility issues. Those were neurological issues, my friend.
No, you say, neurological issues?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe he's just a goofy guy, just walking like a zigzag.
Well, wait, how would you determine that it would be neurological versus physical?
Because when we watch him talk, he's fucking retarded. And now when we watch him walk, he's fucking retarded.
I don't think that's determinative of anything.
Here's the difference. FDR's legs didn't have any reasonable impact on his heart or his brain, right? That's not what we're seeing here. There's a serious
Are you
risk,
saying
not
that
only of anything mental, but also
Are you saying him moving left and right on the red carpet, that's going to have an impact on his brain?
Well, it would be neurological in that it's the nervous system.
How do we know that it's
Like
neurological?
Yeah, how do we know it's neurological? I'm pretty sure there are other medical things he could possibly have that probably would not disqualify him from the presidency. That would not be neurological, though.
Possibly, but I think the issue is that we don't know. That's the issue. I think there was a good question asked earlier from She's Right of like, if something were going on, like, have they even made an official announcement yet about why he's getting IVs in the hand?
I'm pretty sure he's getting IVs because of the chronic...
true. Caroline Levitt. They lied about that. They said it was because of handshakes.
That's not where the bruise was.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Even though it's openly stated he's germophobic and has been for years and doesn't like handshakes and is on the record historically admitting this and tries not to do them when he when he can. I don't think I've seen him shake a lot of hands lately. I don't know, maybe I missed something. It seems out of character for him. And where the bruise was, if you shake someone else's hand, isn't like where the pressure would be in a handshake. It was by the veins in like the bottom kind of middle of your hand, exactly where they would put an IV. I don't know, but that's a possibility.
But even then,
that goes against what the White House has said.
The getting an IV in his hand for whatever reason it might be, obviously it's not for handshaking. That still is not an argument for him being removed from the office of presidency.
Well,
it's
maybe.
still just speculation.
Yeah, it is. But all we can do is speculate. Because we've already said we can't know. If they're lying about even that, what else are they lying about?
You guys keep going back to that point that we can't. Of course, we can't know because this administration lies about fucking everything. Of course, we can't know. But that's still because we can't know. That means that we can't make a determinative factor whether he's healthy or not.
You're correct. I think there could be disqualifying factors right now that we don't know about, which means he should be disqualified and they're hiding it. That is a valid possibility on the table right now, and the White House has done nothing to dispel that.
Okay, so when you're talking about a president and you don't know what their current health status is, do you assume that they are going to be healthy or are you going to assume that they're going to be unhealthy?
When they're lying, we would assume they're unhealthy.
Well, I would say they literally just lie about everything. I don't think that lying necessarily determines one way or another.
What else do they lie about? What do you mean?
Sorry, one second. Let me get Vince. Did you want to say something? Hold on. Pause. Vince, did you want to say something? Yeah. Sorry, you're both talking in a second.
Yeah. I just don't think it's disqualifying. Like, even if he has an IV, that's not necessarily a neurological condition. So.
Yeah, but we don't know, and he lied about the IV. I don't think they've even publicly acknowledged the IV.
Well,
no, they have given
if we don't know, then how can we disqualify him if we don't know?
Because if they're lying about it, it's because they know it'd be something disqualifying.
Well, we don't know that for sure. It may be, but it may be not.
Why don't I hear it? Let me just give a little bit of background that I think could help the conversation. The reason I wanted to have this panel is because like a week or so ago, there was obviously like the whole weekend where Trump wasn't making any media appearances and he wasn't seen by anybody. And also, like She's Right pointed out, they had cleared his calendar, right? And then added stuff to it after. Now, the thing that got to me that made me want to have people talk about this is that then they had the press conference, which some people have said is kind of like it's functioned like a proof of life conference, essentially, where they did the Space Force announcement. But then one reporter did ask, like, they asked Trump, hey, did you hear about any of the claims this weekend or any of the speculation that you may have been dead or that you may have died over the weekend? And he shrugged it off and like, no, I didn't hear anything. Right. That to me feels, well, I mean, like there's a bajillion things you can make out of it. Like, sure, like Vince, the way you're saying, it feels speculative, but that's why I wanted to have this discussed is because like, is there reason to believe that they're being dishonest or that if they did know about anything that would be disqualifying, that they would be dishonest about it right now? Because like the idea that they just weren't aware of any of this feels crazy to me. Sorry. That's all I'll say. I'll go back to shutting up.
Is dishonesty a disqualifying factor?
Well, is a cleared record for not doing the job for a whole week a disqualifying factor? Like, regardless of what happened or why, evidently the conclusion was he was not doing the job.
Wasn't dishonesty literally the disqualifying factor for Bill Clinton? Isn't that what he got impeached over?
Yes, but that's not over health and like physical.
No, I know. I was responding to dishonesty. Yeah. I think that like there's a partially meme argument, right? That like, I mean, we can't know that he's disqualified, but the serious argument behind the meme argument is that we know for a fact that they've lied about his health multiple times. We know that 100% for a fact, number one. Number two, we know, and anybody has to admit, if you watch clips of him now, I get surprised. Watching clips of him in 2016, he is significantly slowed down. Okay, so we know that he's significantly slowed down. We know that they lie about his health. And we also know that he has a surprising lack of information about things that he should know about, but it's hard to compare prior to this because he is a dumb fuck. So the fact that he's mixing up names, not remembering people that he's appointed to positions, not knowing all the time where he's going, and that all of his executive orders have to be explained to him. He can't even read off a teleprompter, and the only thing he can present with honor and pride are like renaming things like the DOD or the Gulf of Mexico. All of these things are true. Those four are 100% true. So the fifth thing, the only question is it reasonable to infer from that if Donald Trump experienced a health event that led to a severe cognitive impact, like some sort of stroke, would we expect this administration to tell us? What do you think the answer is to that?
I don't think they will tell.
So then if he's already...
I don't think they can hide it.
Well, but they did. They tried to for 4 days, right? If he's having like a...
Wow. How's life?
Okay, I have like DMs and emails to catch up on, so prepare to be bored. What the fuck is this? Oh, I don't know. Okay. New Brad Taste apology. Oh, he messaged me. We might chat today. I have no idea what we would possibly chat about, but I tried cocaine for the first time in my life, like 2 nights ago. I'm gonna be honest, I got nothing out of it. I didn't have my Vyvanse that day or anything. I'm guessing I just didn't do enough of it. I did like 3 kind of small lines because I didn't know much in terms of how much I wanted to die or not. And I spent the next hour and a half with the most disgusting. It tasted like MDMA, like just dripping into the back of my throat. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, imagine like old blood coated copper pennies that are ground up and then fed to you. Ugh. I don't know if the ADHD thing and the fact that I'm on Vyvanse means I like would naturally have like a higher tolerance to cocaine, so I need to do a little bit more or something. I don't know, but were you drinking it all? I had like a few mixed drinks, so maybe, but it feels like a waste of an experience. I don't know. Gotta boof it. True. Ugh. Okay, you're watching this while I speedrun my DMs. Go like.
Bad Empanada is a known doxer and harasser. If you go on his Twitter account at any time, you could see him doxing people. He's probably the most famous for being the one who claimed he called CPS on Ethan and Gila. He's constantly encouraged and defended people doing it. He literally opened up a CPS merch line because he thinks it's so funny.
Got a hat. I did CPS, the CPS logo with the 2 skulls, of course, 2 skulls. Not a reference to anything in particular.
He knowingly defames people. In my last video, I pointed out that Bad Empanada constantly claims that Lonerbox's dad was part of a militia group that killed a bunch of civilians. No evidence for it. His response is to give the most forced laugh I've ever heard. And then he just doubles down on everything he made up.
He complains that I called Lonerbox, that I said that Lonerbox's dad participated in the Sabra and Shatila massacre, which he absolutely did, by the way. Lonerbox has never disproven this until he disproves that it's true.
So I guess I shouldn't be surprised that when my dox gets found, Bad Empanada immediately posted everywhere. Uploads a video blasting my name, my bride's name, the address of her wedding, all over the internet. It's also come out that he's swatting people, filing fake police reports, all while plugging his Patreon. So I figured if he's making money off of my dox, I should too. So thank you, Exter, for helping me cope. Do you have a big, fat, bulky wallet that's worn and beat down like this? Is your friend or family member living with the same burdens in life? Well, not anymore, because Exker is making the smartest wallets in the game. I've been using Exker for about a month now, and this thing is slick. You got this high quality leather, a place to put a picture or some cash, and at the click of a button, you got access to all your cards. It never gets old. I haven't lost my wallet the entire time because I've been using the Esker Finder card. It's literally shaped like a credit card. It fits seamlessly into my wallet, and like all great wallets, it comes in a variety of different colors and designs. So no matter who you are, you can find the one that suits you. Exter also sent me this travel pack vacuum kit. This little thing's the vacuum. I have this big pile of clothes. I squeezed all of these clothes in. It barely zips up. The vacuum attaches here and boom, it's like 25% of the size. It will fit much better in your suitcase or backpack. From wallets and key cases to backpacks and card trackers, Exter does it all in a stylish and convenient way. So make sure you use code WillyMaxShow at partner.exter.com/WillyMaxShow 2025 to get up to 42% off your order.
42%!
Thank you, Exter, for sponsoring this video. So where were we? Oh yeah, Bad Empanada fabricating entire background stories about me and my wife.
A certain slop tuber who does nothing but make videos in which he attacks pro-Palestinian people and de facto, as a result of that, helps to further Israel's genocide in Gaza, has been outed as having been honeypotted by Israel. Israel is literally assigning slop tubers government-assigned Israeli wives.
Man, Mossad's really good at their job, because me and my girl started dating 8 years ago when I was still a nobody on YouTube.
So the slop tuber in question is Willie Mack Show. His son...
Notice how Willie Mack didn't actually deny the accusation that he got honeypotted. Israel could be planting future seeds. Maybe the only reason Willie Mack made it as a YouTuber is because this honeypot was successful. So Israel boosted his channel. Just saying.
Making pro-Israel content constantly, is suddenly making nothing but videos attacking pro-Palestine people.
I covered Hasan before all this. It just turns out a war starting in the Middle East didn't make him any better at covering the news. So guess what? I was able to make more YouTube videos. He never addresses my actual points. It's just character assassinations for why I should be doxxed. Bad Empanada then doxes another YouTuber with the justification that he's a Nazi and that it's for journalistic interest. And then he says that's why it's important to dox me and my wife because she's Israeli.
You're actually allowed to reveal personal information about people, especially their real names, if it's within journalistic interest. You know, if there is journalistic reason for doing so. And exposing a clear conflict of interest in this guy's content and his personal life is journalistic interest. It's why, for example, I can tell you that the YouTuber Zoomer Historian, a neo-Nazi history YouTuber, is this guy. I can tell you this because it is within journalistic interest to do so, even though he did not release his information himself publicly. Just like how I can tell you that Willie Mack Show is William McConville, and he is getting married to a Yale. Now, I am not going to give you the full name of the person he's getting.
He does. He scrolls down and up and does it.
Married to.
He literally just scrolled down and showed her full name. I reported the video and he added this little blur, but it still doesn't cover her name.
She is Israeli and she was assigned to him by the Israeli government. They've taken down this page, but as you can see, it is freely available on Google. They, for some reason, as the guy who is a public figure, decided to just publicly announce in public his wedding.
How is this allowed on YouTube? He does this thing where he constantly tries to justify his reason for doxing me. He's like Ethan doxed Denim when he sued them.
This guy has no right to complain about revealing his real name to be doxing. Because Willie Mack Show went on the H3 podcast, which is a podcast that frequently doxes people. In Ethan's recent video...
Sorry, just as a quick thing, before we finish this. So Chud Logic has apparently taken a stand very bravely against Willie Mack. Thank God. And it's funny because you can see, like the usual suspects in his chat over it. And you've got Augie over there. A lot of these names are from Driscoll's chat, but you have the man himself is over there. You know, all of them are supporting each other, giving each other big pats on the back. My last DMs with Willie Mack were on July 24th. I just messaged him to tell him that, to make sure that he knew that his wife and wedding were being doxxed. That's the last time I've talked to him, and I don't really talk to him. And then before that, like March 10th was the last time I spoke with him. Which I think had to do with the whatever interview video we did. But I only bring that up because I see I've been out of town. I've been unplugged for the past 2 days, so I don't know what's been going on. So I just am following up on like DMs that people are sending me. But apparently, Jessica was trying to say, dude, I'm just realizing Willie Mack is almost certainly in Destiny's DMs. Where's the proof, Destiny? You have the proof, right? Destiny, you're not just like a son. I don't talk to Willie Mack about any of his videos or any of the shit that he does. I don't know why or where this idea comes from, other than all of these people have the same stance that because they're trying to control everything behind the scenes, I must be trying to control everything behind the scenes. But I'm very open. Okay, I'm like Donald Trump right now. Okay, I'm very open about everything I do right now. You can see everything I do. People are not happy with it. Well, here it is.
Video talking about his lawsuit against 3 young women. He included unredacted legal filings that he made that include their real names and their real locations.
That's just how legal filings work.
Here's a video clip of Ethan Klein doxing a random Instagram commenter on his show. Ethan goes through the guy's Instagram, brings up pictures of his family members.
Commenter commented from their Instagram account with their full name talking trash to Ethan and had loads of pictures of them and their family on it. I didn't get sued. I didn't comment on your video with my full name. At the end of the day, my crimes are marrying a Jew and going on a podcast. He's nonstop lying about me and my wife, saying she was in the IDF. His fans are saying she murdered babies. He's saying propagandists should die as he's calling me a paid propagandist. They're saying we're valid targets. He posted a photo of what he thinks is my wife in the IDF, but they're actually just pictures of random teenage girls. I asked my wife what...
Come on, like you and Willie Mack don't talk at the alumni meetings? He is just barely there. You don't get into the alumni meetings until a year after you've been married to a Jew. So his wife's been in the meetings. I guess it's possible his wife tells him stuff that comes from the meetings, though you're not supposed to leak. But no, he won't be fully... what's not indicted? ducted into the chat for like 360 or whatever days.
This was, and she thinks it's the Israeli Girl Scouts, so he's just posting little girls on Twitter. My wife didn't serve in the IDF. She came over here at 3 years old. On top of it, he doesn't even know her politics on that situation. He's just being racist. But the worst thing he did was post the date and address of our wedding the week before it took place. He does it multiple times throughout the video, showing an archived page of our site, because we did take it down to try and hide it. But nope, there it is. The time, the date, the address.
Yale and William McConville are getting married very soon. Yale, who is Israeli and Israeli government-provided wife.
So now our wedding is being messed with, and they are wasting the time of our venue, the hotel, and 2 police stations. It's costing me thousands of extra dollars in insurance and potentially closing down the entire building, and my bride is coming up to me and asking me if we're about to be double homicided at her wedding. I'm like, no, baby, these people don't leave their mom's basements, but she sees the news. She saw 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried. So I'm being told by the police that I should go online and at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried. So
Wait, is that... Wait, were there 2 more people killed, or were there... I thought the 2 Jewish people that got killed were coming out of like a museum or whatever. Was it an embassy? I thought that was a museum. Hold on, let me just double check on that. 2 Jewish staffers killed USA outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum at Washington, D.C. on May 21st. Okay.
So I'm being told by the police that I should double staffers at the Israeli embassy in mom's basements, but she sees the news. She saw 2 low-level staffers at the Israeli embassy get shot and killed. She's worried.
Okay. The only reason I say that is 'cause I feel like it's a bit more spooky. It's not like the guy went and shot up the embassy. Pretty sure he was just killing people coming out of the museum, which is really weird. I don't know why I'm laughing. That's not funny. That's kind of fucked. But
So I'm being told by the police that I should go online and see if there's any direct threats. And I see a video made by a guy who hates me, showing all of my information and giving a hypothetical where I'm a valid target because Destiny's a hypocrite.
Stevie said anything involving this bad empanada guy or anyone that supports him is justifiable ammo. Anything is justified against bad empanada and anyone that supports him. Let's apply those standards. Why are we saying this about bad empanada? Well, it appears to be because bad empanada doxed Willie Mack's wife. So would Destiny be saying that those who dox people, those who make calls to violence...
Just so you know, right, if you're not autistic, you can tell, like, all of this is, like, fun and games to them, right? I'm only saying this because it's annoying because when they go outside of the community, whenever they use words like gisticle, all of them are like, doxing is horrible, and blah, blah, blah. But, like, when they're talking about it, it's, like, giggly and funny and, like, laughing and, like, oh, so you're saying it's okay, haha, right? Because it's all, like, because they all already do this shit and they know it, right? And they're just relying on random audiences on the peripheral to not be aware of it. But again, there's a reason why there's so much exchange between the people on Kiwi Farms, between all these unhinged Discord servers, between all of these different communities, between all the people that are doxing, and why all of it, until recently, was all happening on just one side. They know it. They're all aware of it.
Violence or allusions to violence.
And the only defense that they can have is this pushback. Like, show me in my community, where is the dox posted exactly? Show me in my Discord server. Where is it? I don't have any connections then. Where? And it's like, okay, all right, Chief.
Should be fair game, and all of their supporters, all the personalities that back them up, all the chatters that back him up.
This is essentially a Destiny snark community. This guy's narrative for the past 6 months is that I'm covering for Destiny despite me making 2 of the most in-depth videos criticizing him. Their evidence behind this is I said Destiny is better at covering the news than Hasan and Vosh, which is somebody who has made videos on all 3 of these people. I think that's objectively true, but I digress. But most importantly, it's that when these 2 do something stupid, I make fun of them back. The truth is, Bad Empanada did not originate my dox.
Okay. Apparently this was in response to that video too. Oh, this is from Spicy Chat. It's hard to keep the chat separate sometimes because it's all the same fucking people. Dude, this is crazy. Willie's just lying. There's no way he's this retarded. This is retarded. This retarded never bothered unlisting his wedding site, but notice how no one posted it here. I think I already showed on stream, but they were literally posting pictures of Willie and his wife in pictures together. But maybe they didn't post the actual exact URL to the wedding site, but like this is like the game they play, you know? calling his new wife fat. His wife isn't even like a content creator. But like, what? It's just like so unhinged and crazy. Like, what the fuck? Jesus. Oh, here's our good friend Dristigal. Oof. How do you feel if you're in Dristigal's Discord and he types more spicy chat than he does in his Discord server? He's trying to milk you guys for the last of your patron money. Oof. I don't know how you could cover Keffels, condemn them sufficiently, and leave out the blatant lying Keffels did in attributing her harassment. Brother, ... Destiny snark is based. Snark is based. Yeah, guys, we should all just pretend all these disgusting rats are perfect. No, we laugh at their insane behavior. Like, that's the only two options. You either have to say we're all perfect, or you have to stalk and dox and obsess over every single possible thing relating to, I guess, every bit of everybody's personal lives on my end of things. He will get away with this too, although I hope not. Ethan fans are unhinged too. It could easily lead to him causing harassment or doxing. And that's not even counting DGG. Jesus Christ. Fuck Willie. I'm still confused. I love the history rewriting. I'm still confused as to why Willie gets any respect whatsoever. What's he done? Some shit videos on Hasan? And before that, I never liked him anyway. I'm not sure if I want to wait and respond to this Willie video. He just lies and says Queemans and this community has been dropping mass docs. Literally didn't check a single fact the entire time. Oh, this is in Dristigal's Discord server, probably? I don't think this Kelly Jean is the real Kelly Jean. The only doxer we had here was a Darius chatter, and it was a super personal, retarded drama between two ex-lovers. This is so dumb. I hate that Destiny's Trump tactic is working. Ah! Dristigal, did you see Willie calling Augie a doxer and defending Destiny? Saw most of the video. It is very pathetic. Ooh, 55. Oh my God. My secret agent's doing work. Like, a dozen different complete lies about me and one of my friends?
He maliciously spread it everywhere, but my docs originated on a niche forum by this guy's unhinged viewers. So when I see this clip, it's obviously a dog whistle to fuck with me. He literally gets a donation that says, I understand what we must do. Wink, wink.
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him. No?
Like, again, this is just like the Israel-Palestine shit. When Israel does some shit, people are like, you know that, like, you guys are going to get attacked now by terrorists if you do this. Like, yeah, it's already happening. Like, you guys already do everything anyway, no matter what. Like what more? like, there's nothing you can really threaten. Like, your communities are already like maximum unhinged.
Is justifiable.
Unless you guys want to put together like real life death squads and start showing up at homes.
It's Destiny and the people who support him. No? Is that not the standard? That's what he's laying out for me here. Now, I have principles. I don't think it's no bad tactics, only bad targets. That's not me.
As he's literally showing my docs.
But Destiny is very clearly laying out that those are the standards that he believes in. Those are the standards he wishes.
Just to be clear, these are not the standards I believe in. I think all this shit is insanely fucking unhinged, but I've been tired of dealing with it for 6 months with no retribution. So now we do the retribution. And if you don't like it, and if this is making you really unhinged and you really uncomfortable, and now you have people like Ryle, Kittenhouse, or whatever, deleting all their accounts because they don't like the fact that now we know he's a 3-time convicted felon or whatever, well, then stop doing it. And as soon as your side brings it down, well, then maybe I'll chill. It's like super easy. I think all this shit is super ultra fucking unhinged, but I mean, like, if this is like, it cannot be the fact that you can say, well, it's not posted to my server directly, but there's every single person has accounts on like all the different sites, and all of you guys are friends with each other, and all of it gets posted, and all the information just happens to wind up in some kind of form across all the different platforms. As long as that happens, well, then fine, fuck it. If you want to play stupid, that's fine. I'm not gonna play stupid. I'll just be upfront about it. And if you want to get mad about that, then fine. But hey, as soon as you stop,
is to be enforced. Is if you're a doxer, if you call for violence.
Also, what does the Destiny standard have to do with Willie Mack's show? It is, I don't even know why, actually. Maybe because these people are bored. I don't know why these people hate me so much. I don't even want to be a part of their community. I just do politics, okay? 2024 onwards, I just want to cover politics. That's it. Maybe it's for the views, or maybe they're bored. I don't know. But if you have to either say I'm like fully 1 trillion quadrillion% a super rapist, or you're 1 trillion% pro Destiny rape, and you're a new Ghislaine Maxwell rape enabler. Like, that's it. There's no in between. So that's like that's just the MO for this crowd. So anything that I say, if you're another person on the internet and you're not like affirming 1,000,000% that I'm a rapist, then you're in the same exact camp as me. It's just fucking retarded.
Those are the standards he wishes to be enforced. Is if you're a doxer, if you call for violence, anything is justifiable against you supporters.
Order taken.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying, Max, actually. I just explicitly said otherwise, actually, Max.
He's got a shit-eating grin on his face. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, nice! Oh, I gotta be careful before I comment ahead of time, because I gave Willie the full script for his video, and I just remembered I pulled that from the script. My bad, Willie. I didn't mean to out you there, buddy. My bad. I guess there is a lot more information going between the Jalumni chat directly to Willie than I thought. No, but I'm glad that he catches it, right? This is like there are ways that people talk about things where you can tell how they really feel about things. And, you know, when somebody logs in and they're like, guys, like, I feel like things are just really weird right now. Like, I feel like people are doxing me. Like, I don't know. I'm going to take a little break and figure out what's going on. Like, that's one thing. But when somebody's like, guys, they think that, guys, they're doxing everybody. And, well, if you're going to be doxing, then, well, maybe we're going to. Like, come on, bro.
He's got a shit-eating grin on his face. He knows what he's doing. This then gets retweeted by his friend J-Stock, who pushed the exact same narratives about me. I'm obviously very unhappy about this. It's affecting my real life, but instead of anyone actually acknowledging this, they do what Bad Empanada did and try to hypocrisy hunt to justify their actions. They're like, why aren't you mad at Destiny? He quote-tweeted your docs too.
Why aren't you mad at Destiny himself?
Destiny is defending my already viral docs that's already in the hands of all the people who...
Do you see how that works? This is one of the reasons why it's so hard to talk about it, and I can't just openly be like, oh, hey, on KF, XYZ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever docs was posted, right? Because anytime the docs is involved too, it's like difficult to even talk about it or around it without bringing more attention to it, which is one of the things that they kind of thrive on, because you can't be as open about it because now you're also publicizing the docs, you know? But I'm sorry, Willie. I don't know if this fucked Willie or not. Oh, I guess maybe he sounds like he doesn't fuck him too, but now I don't care. Now I just like, fuck it. If you're docs, you're docs. I'm not gonna let that slow me down. And outing these fucking weirdos.
Destiny himself.
Destiny is defending my already viral docs that's already in the hands of all the people who hate me. We're acting like context and scale don't matter. It was actually kind of nice to see someone with a big audience who I've criticized in the past stand up for me and say this is wrong. But look at this comment. Willie refuses to acknowledge the obvious, that Destiny is the biggest proponent in spreading his docs. No, it was actually Bad Empanada who did that. Do you know how time works, proponent?
I wonder who this account is even. Wait, hold on. I haven't checked this. It might be nothing. I'm just curious. Chemo. Oh, fuck. I think they deleted their... Oh, they deleted all their comments. I wonder why. Well...
and spreading his docs. No, it was actually Bad Empanada who did that. Do you know how time works? They hate Destiny so much they're ignoring the very reality we live in. That's what I don't get at all. Is he perfectly fine with his docs being...
Oh wait, what the fuck? Do these... Oh wait, just kidding. Never mind. They need to delete this one. Okay. Can I say how much I hate... I don't know how to describe this, but I guess in order to save resources, on some websites, I say on sub websites, on Reddit, you know that when you scroll down, it's actually deloading a lot of what was earlier in this page, right? Like if I try to go back up, it has to reload the thing. So if I were to control F right now and search for a name or search for something, it wouldn't show up because it's actually unloading these. See, when you go back up, it's unloading the things and it has to reload them when you scroll. Oh, it's fucking annoying. Okay, sorry.
Being spread around as long as the person who's spreading it is condemning it. At this point, my dox is already spread. The toothpaste is out of the bottle. What bothered me most in this moment was the narrative that I deserve it, or that it's part of some greater destiny justice. If Queeman pulled up my dox and only said bad empanada sucks for this, I wouldn't care. It's the dog whistle call to action that's the problem. It's so obvious. Yet I'm seeing respected commentator Augie call me a hypocrite because I said doxing is wrong.
This is from a month ago. Willie says, you should delete this. It's just doxing and a shit thing to do to someone whose worst crime is being annoying on the internet. So you have that situation there. So there is twice replying to JStock's dox, but then he got upset about fucking his docs being shared.
Yeah, holy shit. It's as if context matters. It's as if me calling out a tweet that already has 100,000 views doesn't add any negative effect. He pearl clutches and gives this big performance about my quote tweet.
I showed you 2 times. Here he is doing it a 3rd time. Just
who even is this guy?
a few days ago before I even did this stream, and I actually had to like tell him, I was like, dude, delete this shit, right?
But on this same stream, Augie shows the uncensored link of JStock's docs. He also replied under JStock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to
Oh, that's Augie? That's what Augie looks like, fucking Adam Sandler from... What was the name of that movie? Big Daddy? What? What? Am I making this up? What am I thinking of? Fuck, does he have a scene with a hat here? Okay, whatever.
I was like...
He also replied under JStock's docs on Twitter. So what are we talking about? Are we gonna call Augie a doxer? No, because they don't actually care about this. He's just being performative to justify what's happening to me. Augie acts confused throughout this entire segment.
The Augie guy hates you, I think, because of the Trump firefighter comments. No, what happened with Augie and Nicholas Diorio was I think they were I don't call them super fans, but I think they were really big fans of me. And then Pixie's Rapifesto on me dropped. And so they had to pull like an Anthony Fantano with Sam Hyde, right, in order to prove how not fans of me they were ever, or how much they condemn me. They like 180'd into ultra omega anti-fans, but then they also got drafted into this weird like gistical side group, and so it like fostered and grown from there.
Literally days.
They always hated you? I don't think so. Well, Nicholas Diorio definitely didn't. I'm pretty sure I've been like in off-stream chats with him before, unless he secretly hated me, never said it. I don't know about Augie. I'm gonna be honest. Augie and Nicholas like occupy the same spot in my mind, and that I think I'm probably conflating the two a bit. But maybe Augie never was a fan. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just Diorio. I'm thinking of.
After he threw a hissy fit. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense to me. It's like, what the f are we talking about here? I mean, what argument are we making here? This is just crazy. It makes no sense.
I know why he's confused. It's because he never plays the original clip that made me mad in the first place. He just summarizes as they criticize Destiny, and that's why Willie's mad.
Too bothered by this, but instead he was bothered by some stuff that...
Remember, I wish I could drill this into everybody's brain. The ultimate red flag for a bad faith actor is when they can never, ever, ever give an accurate summary of why the other side feels the way they do. That's always a huge red flag, right? Like, oh, why is this guy so mad at him? Oh, I think he's mad at him because he said something mean about him. It's like, really? That's what's driving all of this? Is not nothing else? That even from their perspective, they would agree with that summary of things?
Queeman and JStock were saying, and basically what they were saying was it's kind of hypocritical for Destiny to get upset at, you know, Willie Mack for getting doxxed when he has a history of doxing people and is currently right now calling for their doxes, right?
So
just as a heads up, all of this is, and again, you have no power over me because I don't give a fuck about any of these people, and I don't give a fuck about openly saying what I do. Yeah, I do support all of this stuff, and I will continue to support it as long as your community does. Like, eat shit. This is not going to be a boogeyman thing where it's like, wait, did somebody hear that he support? Yeah, I do, and I don't give a fuck. I don't care if that makes you mad. I don't care if you get ass pain. I don't care if you want to run to other fucking loser commentary people and talk about it. The reality is that if you guys are all going to do this on your side for months and months and months, which you have, well then yeah, I'm going to start doing it too. Get fucked, get bent. I don't give a fuck. And I hope more of you fuckers delete your accounts as I find you creepy fucking weirdos, okay? But remember, This only started because this is where you wanted to go, all right? And now we're here, so welcome.
Of doxing people, and is currently right now calling for their doxes, right?
So he never plays the context and then acts like the reason I'm mad is because they called Destiny a hypocrite. Nothing about my wedding or my bride. How is that possible unless you're being bad faith? I'm not even sure if Augie knows what a dog whistle is. He's like, unless Queeman pulls up Willie's docs and then says, I love doxing Willie, it's all fine.
This isn't even really a point against Willie Mac. It was mainly a point against Destiny. I don't think at any point Queeman was like, yeah, and he got doxed, I love that. You know?
Like, it's so fucking stupid how childish these people act, right? Like, this is the equivalent to, fuck, I can't use Trump as an example because he's so blatant. But I mean, I can. It's like the equivalent to, like, how can you convict that guy of first-degree murder when the guy never said, I knowing the consequences of what I'm about to do, I'm going to pull the trigger on this gun fully expecting the other person to die. It's like, how can you know his state of mind? There's no way that we could ever possibly know what was going on in his head. How could you ever do this? Like,
I don't think he ever said that, right?
Bro, if you're this stupid, make life better for everybody and just quit. Destiny has recently doxed J-Stock and Queeman. His motivation
and Jessica's editor too, who's gone.
Behind this is that everyone they associate with him ends up getting doxed and harassed, so he's doing it back to them. The victims I know are Destiny's girlfriend, Dan Saltman and his family, me and my wife, Hutch and his family. Augie pulls up
Josiah, like, yeah, there's, like, and it feels bad, I can't even talk about it because if I say it, it even sounds horrible, but yes, yeah, it's unhinged.
These employees saying she was swatted.
Like, at this point, these side communities are fucking yellow pages, okay? For everybody who's ever been associated with me. What the fuck?
I was
my wife, Hutch and his family. Augie pulls up Destiny's employees saying she was swatted.
I was also swatted.
Oh, Kyla, yeah.
Now, why would she be saying that she was also swatted in a reply to this clip? Is she saying that J-Stock and Queeman had some part in her...
Yes! Kiwi Farms has an unhinged obsession with Kyla. They are telling people to call ICE on her to break her fucking visa shit. Yes. And Justical, all of them know it. That's why Justical brings his mentally ill BPD queen on stream constantly to talk about Kyla and all the other fucking crazy unhinged shit these guys do. Yes, they all know about it. There's the plausible deniability shit doesn't work here, okay? Nope, we're not fucking retarded. Or I'm not gonna be private about it anymore. No, you guys are fucking crazy. It's not a coincidence that all of these people just happen to be in your community. It's unhinged.
Getting swatted? Or that their communities had some part in this?
Yes, obviously, but it's all just a coincidence to Augie. Augie pulls up another example of a Destiny viewer saying they're getting threatening letters sent to their house, and Destiny's like...
Oh, not Destiny viewers. That was a member of Justical's Discord server, actually.
I don't believe them, but even if that happened, it's still not that community's fault.
A couple months ago, because I'm a fan of Destiny in the JSUG server, someone in his community sent a letter to my home. I've moved since then. Thanks for telling us, by the way. To my house saying I defend Destiny because I want to rape my wife and my patients. I'm gonna put an X to doubt on that one. And even if it did happen, right? Who's responsible for that?
What about the guy?
It was a person in Justical's Discord server. This wasn't even from my audience. That's where this came from. That's who that guy was. He was a person in Justical's Discord server. And then Justical banned him from his Discord server.
Dog whistling that I'm a valid target and getting a dono saying they understand his orders.
Anything is justifiable against Destiny and the people who support him.
I don't think creators are responsible for every one of their unhinged viewers, but it is not normal for a community this small to have so much doxing coming out of it. I've made videos on communists, Nazis, misogynists, feminists, scammers, and traffickers. People with millions of followers, yet this tiny little community is where all this doxing takes place and it's just out of their hands. Dude, they're obviously feeding into it, but Augie knows nothing. He can't even recite me goofing on them accurately. J-Stock has criticized Destiny for creating
because the problem is that those guys like Augie and them, they get all of their info directly from Juice Stalker and everybody else, right? And of course they're just telling them, hey, that we don't know anything about this, nothing's happening here. Like, look at my server. Look, we ban all of that, we disavow all of that. Ha 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 ha. Just to be clear, the guy that got doxxed was banned by Justical. People might think Justical banned the doxer. Yeah, the guy that got the letter to his house was banned by Justical from the server. Yeah.
A metaphorical rape machine, partially because he had sex with BPD girls. Then when these girls call him out for being abusive, everyone thinks they're just crazy. J-Stock then had sex with the same BPD girl.
Everything Destiny's saying here is true.
And committed her for 72 hours. And then when she came out, welcomed her with open arms. Fuck. The funny thing is, oh no, who sent me these screenshots? I don't know if I don't have them on hand. The funny thing is, because Cherry would go through moments of Cherry has like phases. It's like the moon, okay? She's crazy for a bit, and then she's not crazy. And when she's not crazy, she's like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm crazy for a bit. There was when she came out of confinement, she was even typing messages in Jessica's server, which is like, I know the only reason you guys are nice to me is because Jessica is literally telling you guys. And Cherry like calls it out exactly. She literally says, like, I know this is what it means when Jessica's on stream and he says, hey guys, we like Cherry. It's because he's telling you guys not to shit on me. I'm aware of that. Who sent me those DMs? Resend them. Oh. Thank you. Fuck, what was the date on these? But like, even like, and maybe they'll say, you know, retroactively, like, oh no, this is all a joke, lol, it was just joke, haha, because that's what they do with everything. But like, Cherry's even aware of like how she's being weaponized by Jessica's community. I think it's more interesting knowing he banned me as soon as I got home and still hated him. Oh, because I think Jessica didn't want to say anything bad about him as soon as she got out. It's okay. Just, I know most of you do whatever he tells you to do regarding me. Here to loop, like a good little BPD co-host. That's why he says shit like, quote, no, we like Cherry still, end quote. You've got your vague orders. Like, Cherry knows what's going on. They all know what's going on. They just pretend when they're talking to other communities that they can't possibly, you know, do any of this. So this is crazy, and you're insane, and where's the evidence to do it? Yeah.
Actually, it's not true. Actually, everything Destiny's saying here is complete bullshit. Destiny says, and to think that this was the same guy, J-Stock Jewstalker, who spent the last year saying having sex with mentally ill people equals rape. Crazy, huh? No, you retard. That was never the argument that you have sex with mentally ill people, that means you're raping them by default.
The argument literally was, wow, crazy how all of these mentally ill girls, which by the way, are the people that you see online that get exploded out online, okay? The vast majority of the people I bang are completely fucking normal, are never on the fucking internet now because you guys are insane, okay? Are totally chill, ordinary people. But the argument has always been that I explicitly pick these people out and then I subtly manipulate them with reverse mindfuck psychology. Because remember, when I sent Lav that one message saying like, hey, I know we hooked up in the past and you're jumping on stream now, just want to make sure that you know there's like nothing weird or whatever, and then she joked about it, that was actually me. Remember, this is Mr. Girl's argument. That was me being 180 manipulative in order to give me plausible deniability, okay? And then also the fact that there has never in the history of all of DMs ever been a DM of me manipulating anybody or anything, but that's because I'm super good at hiding all of it and super secretly doing it. Like, it's so fucking retarded. But I'm always choosing the mentally ill people because I know they're the easiest ones to manipulate. Never mind the fact that Gistigal is literally bringing Cherry on 24/7 to shit on every single person in my orbit after she's literally been forcibly committed for being suicidal, for being too heavily involved in online communities. Relly sweeping for Gistigal. Wait, what is this?
See for like his Hasan videos, just show me something where J-Stock's like, yeah.
Sorry. Oh my God. Oh, this fucking retard is so stupid. Okay, sorry, hold on. I'm just responding to this because it gets asked every time. Destiny, disregard if I'm retarded, but why even give these degens the time of day? These people are nobodies, to be honest. These people are nobodies, but the problem is everything they say gets amplified all the way up to Hasan Piker. And the issue is that once Hasan is starting to repeat stuff, if Hasan says something crazy to me and I go, hold on, I know that what Hasan just said sounds crazy, but you have to understand. What's actually happening is that information is first getting posted to another place like Kiwi Farms, and then users are taking bits and pieces of that information, they're disseminating it across a ton of different Discord servers, where all of these people visit the other servers, and then all of them eventually make commentary videos about it online, where they pretend not to have any direct connection to Kiwi Farms, but the information that gets posted there originally is always ending up in these videos, and then it's being used to subtly craft a narrative that's pushing all of these people against me in a certain direction, and is also being used to harass these people around me in real life as much as possible. And that's why, you know, when Hasan amplifies it, it's bad. That, I sound crazy. I sound like an actual schizo when I say that, right? So that's why I kind of have to, I don't want to be involved in like this type of shit, just to be clear, right? There's a reason why through like all of 2024, I don't talk about any of this shit, or I try to ignore him, or it's whatever. Personally, because I think it's kind of boring. I'd rather be reading about more boring shit. I'd rather be doing more deep dives into how does a furin cleavage site organically wind up in some place, and is a 12 nucleotide insertion out of frame evidence of lab leak theory or not, right? That's more interesting to me. That's what I'd rather do. I'd rather have 3,000 viewers, okay, going over autistic boring shit. But the issue is that if it's now to the point, in the past you would ignore people like this, because if you ignore people like this, they go away. But if they're getting amplified by people like Hasan, well, I can't really ignore it. And then it sounds really credible when there's so much backing it up. And it's like, okay, well, now I have to spend a little bit more time kind of deconstructing this insane apparatus that is existing here now. Because otherwise, yeah, you just seem like crazy when you bring it up. So,
see for like his Hasan videos, just show me something where JStock's like, yeah, it's okay for these people to be doxxed. We're only halfway through the video. Maybe that's what. Just show me anything that illustrates, because is Willie Mack making the argument that JStock is like offline messaging people or like offline talking to people in a way that would do this? Or like, where is the gearing of his audience to be like, yeah, no, it's totally fine to dox Willie Mack, and actually I like Erudite being.
Yeah, like he's fucking retarded. He's just retarded. I don't know. He spent a lot of time in that community too, though. So I don't know. It's like whatever it is. It is what it is.
The argument that you have sex with mentally ill people.
What would happen if you blocked them all on everything? Would it dent your bank account? Just making political streams in an isolated void? Well, the problem is that like people get the most unhinged thoughts about me or assumptions about me based on what they've heard on some of these other streams. Honestly, if you want to hear my problems with it, just listen to Hasan, because Hasan picks up and copies every single thing I say now. But where's the clip of Hasan hijacking my explanation where he's like, a lot of people don't like me just because of crazy clips they've seen of me online, and then, you know, they would just watch my content, they'd get a better understanding. That's a line that he stole from me, because it's true in my perspective, right? Because to these people, they present me as being literally fucking like boogeyman Hitler. It's insane.
Retard. That was never the argument that you have sex with mentally ill people, that means you're raping them by default. The argument is that you don't give a fuck about their consent because you'll share their images, videos of them doing all kinds of sexual stuff. You'll share that with anyone.
No, Augie. JStock actually specifically said it's not about sharing images.
I think that the main talking point is that Destiny distributes people's nudes. And, like, it's like a weird
I think that's not the main talking point. I think one of the a massive talking point here is the infinite rape machine, okay? How does the infinite rape machine work?
Just as a reminder, I don't know if this still exists in Justigo's server, okay? Because I get told things. I think somebody can check now. Apparently in Justigo's server, he got so irritated because the narrative is like swung so far in the other direction now that if you even come across as remotely defending me in Justigo's Discord server, they've made a new channel called the E-Rape Defense server where you automatically get quarantined off into. So also, to be fair to Justigo, Willie Mack is quitting him here, but his position might have changed because all of the positions have changed over time since January when Pixie's fucking unhinged rape stack first dropped about me to now when it's like, oh shit, maybe like 98% of what was said is actually complete and total horseshit.
Massive talking point, which you'd know if you were part of if you watched the Sunday video. It's not just.
Oh yeah, you just gotta watch the President Sunday video. If you just watch the President Sunday video, you'd understand everything. Okay.
Point here is the infinite rape machine, okay? How does the infinite